You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello there, and welcome back to The Disconnected. Live on Thursday night means it's reconnected here with Gage Hogsten, all the way from Florida. How we doing, Gage?
Fantastic. How are you, and where are you at right now?
I am in the back office in our dear friend Alex's home in Los Angeles. We have been on a journey. I've got a video to share with everybody because it is freaking hilarious. I don't know what is going to be in this video because I've not even had a chance to watch it yet. So I'm going to share this and see if we can make this work. Let me see. I'll be exporting that. I'll explain that I surprised Jeremy. Jeremy does not know that did not know that this was happening. Made my way to LA yesterday, and over the next weekend, all the way until Sunday, we're going to be doing the Sundance Film Festival at home. And I think we have 12 films on the docket, all playing before they are, in theaters and all that. This has been planned for like 6 weeks. Jeremy had no idea, surprised the hell out of him today. And you'll get to see his look of shock because it was funny, and figured that I should share. Other than that, we're going to talk about what's been up with Gage and Norman Studios. And then afterwards, our discussion tonight. Looking forward to 2025. What are we looking forward to in the world of boutique physical media and also films? While that is exporting, before I share the video, any recent pickups you want to talk about tonight?
Oh my God, yeah. Last minute, I just went and grabbed a whole bunch of them. I know there's a few that I'm missing, and I'm not even counting the stuff like Vinegar Syndrome, Black Friday stuff that finally came in. But this is just, we'll start with this, what this week came in. This from BFI, right? Yeah, BFI is Seven Samurai.
Huge release.
Yes, my girlfriend and I were hanging out at Barnes & Noble, and she picked up the Criterion. She's like, ooh, I really want to watch this. And I was like, you would like it a lot. So, but I was like, the problem is I want the UK one. So this one is very interesting, and I would like to hear Craig's opinion on the two, because have you seen comparisons of the two?
I have, and funny enough, they look, if you're huge fans of Kurosawa, they're kind of like six of one, half dozen of another, pretty, not identical at all, but very, some things are better of this one that are worse on the other one, and vice versa.
Yeah, they're just very different in a lot of ways, which is really interesting. And after looking at comparisons for the two, I don't know which one I like more, or even which one would be considered a truer image, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're both very different. So this is one I plan on getting both of eventually. So there's, this is
amazing.
A good movie to do that for.
Amazing.
And then also, I feel like I was one of the first people to get this in.
Yes, you were.
Which I posted in the group chat, and then I went and looked at like the Blu-ray.com forum, and nobody else had posted it, and I didn't see anything on Reddit. And I think it's partly because I'm so close to Savannah here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I know I was reading Brad from TerraVision was posting that I guess like all of their stuff goes to Jacksonville's mail facility first. So I guess that's probably why I got it so quickly. But I opened it up just because there's so much stuff that came in it. They like sent another booklet separate from the rest of it, and it kind of fits into the packaging, but not really. And I was trying to fit it all in there, and it's absolutely stacked with stuff. So I'm really excited to check that out.
It was a lot to do. I'm so glad people finally get to see it. That release, I swear, was being worked on for so long.
Oh my God!
Just being able to see people pick it up is amazing.
And that one's like we talk about 2024 and how many movies like The Keep and Looking for Mr. Good and Gummo came out. Rumpelstiltskin was one of those movies that was like
it's a huge deal.
And nobody talks about it because there were so many fucking movies that came out that was like. But just a couple other pickups I got, because I know you don't have any, so you told me to grab a few. Actually.
Yep.
I finally got Tangerine which
nice.
Nora, the second sight one, which I'm very glad this was still in stock at Orbit, because no matter what, this will always be the definitive one, because
it's pretty great.
I'm sure it's going to come out from a different distributor or something, but it probably won't be better than this one. So.
It actually probably will not. Long story, but this like Sean really regrets his deal he got for Tangerine through Sundance. There's not great rights for it, and through the U.S. at least, it will not be coming out for a long time.
Damn, that's crazy to know. I didn't know that. Yeah, that was actually the first I'd ever heard of Sean Baker. The Sunray Cinema that closed down here was our big, repertory independent theater. And when I was a senior in high school and I finally started like going out to that cool area of town by myself and stuff and going to theaters, I swear to God, I saw the trailer for Tangerine like a trillion times. And I was like, man, I really want to see that movie. So I've never seen it. So
wow.
I'm very excited to see that. And then the last thing that I have for my pickups, and I got this like 2 months ago, but I just have to flex it because it's been so talked about, is this right here. I saw y'all talking about it in the Discord the other day, and I looked it up on eBay and was like, damn, I could come up off that thing real quick.
Yeah, that thing is crazy. Obviously it was expensive when it released, but when something like that goes out of print quickly, oh man, those scalpers really capitalize.
And that thing's like a brick, man. You could kill a man with that thing. It's insanely stacked with, it's like 27 hours of content in that as well. So, it's worth the money for sure. And then if you ordered it from Eureka, you got it for less shipping than if you bought it from the United States.
so true. And somehow like here very quickly.
Yeah, I know. I think I ordered it on like a Monday and it got here on like a Thursday. That's always how it is with Eureka. And then I guess these two, let me just share these real fast because the Barnes & Noble sale is happening.
Another one that's pretty much out of print and nobody can get. Good job.
Yes, exactly. And, I know this has a crazy, issue with the people don't like the master on it or whatever, but it's probably the best it's going to look for ever, probably. Yeah. So I was like, that'll be the definitive release of that. And then they still had Narc in there, which I've never seen Narc.
It's a good movie.
I was like, let me check that out. And then one off of from you guys, y'all are always talking about how great Mute Witness was.
It's a great movie, yeah.
Yeah, this one, I can't wait to watch it. I didn't realize, I'd always heard of this movie, but I'd watched or saw some screenshots of it, and I was like, oh, that's not what I thought this movie was. That, and then the last one is one I got from Orbit as well, was The Long Good Friday.
Nice.
Because I've never seen this either, and I know Bud that likes it a lot, and this is another one that's like, I almost bought the Criterion, and I was like, oh, no, I got to get the Arrow of that one.
Smart choice.
Although I kind of want the Criterion, too, because it has that documentary about handmade films on it. So that's probably another one I'll have to double dip on.
I would agree there. Couple from the chat. It's Brendan's birthday. Happy birthday, Brendan. Got in the Andy Milligan set today. Congrats on your depraved weekend ahead.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I had a couple asking, Holland Oates is asking if it's my birthday. My birthday was 2 days ago, so thank you.
Happy birthday to you too, man.
Thank you. I think this video is almost ready. It is processing to HD, and then we can watch it.
Oh my God.
It's 3 minutes long, so it's going to be a little bit of a long one, but it's rather funny. So this week we've got a lot to talk about, obviously, but recent watches is going to be a fun one too, because I am really excited to share what we watched with the Patreon watch along this week. We went all together and, well, not in person, but watched Cecil B. Demented, the John Waters movie, in the Discord. Was a blast to get everybody together, and most people had never seen it, so it was really nice.
Yeah, that's the same guy that likes Long Good Friday likes that movie a lot. I think it's actually, it may not be anymore, but I think it was in his top 4 on Letterboxd, Stephen.
Wow.
It's his favorite John Waters movie.
And I was in person with Craig from Deaf Crocodile at Deaf Crocodile HQ today, and we were talking about other releases, like how has nobody released these? Where are all of the modern John Waters films on Blu-ray? I don't know if Criterion has them or somebody else. Cecil B. Demented, Pecker, the Johnny Knoxville movie. We've got to get them all out there. I would love to see all those get really great releases. Not to mention, most of those people are still around. We could do so many interviews on those.
Yeah, even some of the big ones, like Hairspray, is not out on anything really. There's probably a Blu-ray of it, but there's no big boutique or nice.
No, not a big boutique.
Yeah,
not at all. Would be swell. Other than that, I honestly did not watch a lot. It's a week that there's been some major things going on behind the scenes that I've not loved. Been hit by some of the United States things. We're going to talk about that later in the show tonight. But what about you? Recent watches you want to highlight? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I've started off 2025 pretty strong. I've already watched 11 new movies that I'd never seen before this year, which is pretty good for me. Last year, I watched 117, which is not a lot compared to some of you guys. I know some of y'all are like, yeah, I only watched 700 movies this year.
Fucking Jeremy watched, I think, exactly 600 movies last year. It's like, Jesus, dude.
That is crazy. Yeah, no. So 117 last year was the most I think I've ever done in a year. And I'm looking to get to 125 this year is my goal. Because my girlfriend, she has an app called Fable, which is basically like Letterboxd for books. And
nice.
She set a goal last year to read, I think, like 16 books and wound up reading 55 books. And I don't think any of them were probably under 300 pages. She reads like fantasy stuff that's like 600 pages and stuff.
What kind of fantasy?
I know. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I know. You know what's funny is like her mom actually came over here and looked through my collection. And I swear to God, within 12 seconds was 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy. That was the first one she saw. It was like, oh, this is what you got in here. And it's like, man, this thing ain't half as bad as some of these books that your daughter has, man.
That's hilarious.
You open up any of those books at Target that like look like cute hockey romance. You open up to a page and it's spicy stuff they have in there. But so far through 2025, almost every movie that I've watched is from the 30s, which is my favorite decade. I started off with which I didn't grab. It was the Mondo Hungry Snake Woman, which was kick ass. I loved that movie a lot. And then I followed it up with this, which is
it's such a wild movie.
Incredible. The soundtrack for it's awesome. This disc. I very, very rarely review anything on Letterboxd, and that's why Sean Baker's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
I'm not even. The only film I've seen of his is Honora, but I just love him so much because I've watched interviews with him. Him and I use Letterboxd kind of in the same way, just to kind of track what we're watching. And Feliday actually put a review on there talking about how special this movie, how special it was to watch it. It's like what you want. It's like what you think of when you're thinking of collecting movies and like sitting down and watching a movie. Like this is your dream come through with this. It's so beautiful and the transfer is amazing. The colors are popping off the screen and it's a crazy story. It's probably going to be my like favorite disc I watch all year for sure. Wow. Yeah, and I haven't even dug into the special features yet, so I can't wait to do that. That's going to be a lot of
fun. And that's the thing, like to get new animation from the people that originally animated something from 30 years ago and get that, like they contributed art. That's wild.
Yeah, I thumbed through the book. The book's awesome. I pretty much read everything in the book. Was really cool. So this is just like, I can't wait to get more stuff from Deaf Crocodile. They're my favorite. I know I said Deaf Cock because I was burping up my beer. That could be a sub label that they could do.
Crocodile After Dark.
Yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot. And then also, I finally began digging into the Marlene Dietrich and Josef von Sternberg box set, which you guys, if anybody saw me earlier this week, I was on the Chasing Labels podcast on Watch.
Yes, you were.
And I talked about some of these movies. I'm only 2 movies into this so far, but amazing stuff. I've seen a lot of Josef von Sternberg's other stuff, like his 3 silent films that Criterion put out, and then I have a few of his indicators like Thunderbolt and stuff like that. So those are really, really cool. And then something else that I've been watching, this has been like the bulk of what I'm watching. Yes, Deaf Crocodile. Yes, exactly. That could be the you'll have to have a separate website for that one though. Is this Frank Capra set. This thing is incredible. The first thing I did when I got home with it is because everybody, it's shaped bizarrely.
Yep.
I put it on the shelf like this, thinking that the heavy end is on the back, right? And I walk out of the room and I hear, poof, and I walk out. It fell face front. Like this, I was
Oh,
like, how did that even happen? But everything's all fine. There's no dents or anything in it. And I checked all the discs. All the discs were like super greasy and had finger marks and some scratches all over them. Which I was
yikes.
like, and some of the, and this was direct from Amazon from like pre-ordering it like right when it came out. And, but so far I've loved everything that I've seen from it. It's so awesome.
I got to admit, you on Chasing Labels the other night for the Unwatched Pile was the funniest thing to see you go like this.
Oh, I couldn't
like
get
3
it.
minutes.
You
And
see I'm
Andrew
struggling.
and Steven are both like, what are you doing? And I'm like, come on, it's so obvious.
Yeah, you can't see that color. It's like the only thing that's that color, you know. But I watched that movie Dirigible from it about the Zeppelin and plane kind of like
Yeah.
they're trying to get funding for the Navy, and it's like, should we take the Zeppelin down to Antarctica to the South Pole, or should we take a plane? And it's a great looking 4K disc. It's a 4K disc from a 1931 film, which is just nuts that this is a thing. So really enjoying that. And then my last recent watch is something I watched last night because I wanted to watch something fresh for tonight. I watched the 4K of Incubus.
Oh, nice. I
Have
don't
you
have
seen
that
this?
one yet. No.
Okay. It's a weird movie, man. It is like an American version of an Eastern European film. It's like very
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got a lot of influence, you can tell, from like Soviet or any Eastern European or any Italian or French movie even. It's just very, very European flavored. And the whole movie is in Esperanto, which is very weird because it's like, it almost sounds like a gibberish movie. And the disc is weird because I'm sure you also know that it's a 4K HDR Dolby Vision of a print of the only surviving print. The 4K UHD and Dolby Vision is actually only in the 1:8:5 aspect ratio.
Oh, that's right.
But the movie is shot apparently according to IMDb, which whatever.
Fully accurate information always.
Yeah, fully accurate. It says the original aspect ratio is 1:3:3 or 1:3:7:1, but that's probably not true because this movie came out in '66. So by then, like almost every theater in the United States was showing stuff at 1:8:5. They didn't even have the plates to show stuff in 1:3:3. So it's probably more accurate to be in the 8:5, but it seems like because it has burnt-in French subtitles, so if you're watching at 1:8:5, you can barely see. You can kind of see them at the bottom of the screen, kind of showing.
Yeah.
If you see the 1:3:3, you could see all the subtitles. But at 1:8:5, they're like mostly off the screen like the whole time, so it doesn't really bother you or anything like that. But I almost feel like they, at times, probably zoomed in even further from what a true 1:8:5 one is, because there's a lot of shots in it where you're like, their heads look to be a little too tight for this to actually be the accurate framing. And there's a lot of like stuff that I don't know. You should just watch it. It just feels like a European film. And like when I went back and watched it in the 1:3:3 or 1:3:7, it almost feels like that may actually have been the actually intended aspect ratio. I don't know. So, but it's only a 74-minute film or 76 minutes. Yeah, 74 minutes, and it goes by pretty quick. I didn't feel like it was too boring or anything like that.
Right.
Which I know a lot of people think that about folk horror stuff, and there's a lot of interesting details about this movie. I guess the guy that plays the Incubus in it, I'm watching it, I'm like, this guy looks like he's a demon spawn. He looks very weird. Like he looks like the devil. He looks scary. And apparently he actually killed Mickey Rooney's wife or something like that. Yeah, this is again, if IMDb is telling the truth here, because I saw that he like never did any other movies. Like he did like 2 movies ever or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I guess they were having an affair or something was what I was reading on IMDb. But I was like, yeah, that guy probably was the devil.
We got a question in the chat from Madhouse who had asked about the Twin Peaks Z to A set that is coming. If the discs are going to be stacked, the picture it absolutely looks like the really famous Twilight Zone release on Blu-ray where they're all stacked. It's likely going to be just like that, unfortunately. And Colton says Incubus is on the Arrow player right now. So if you've got the streaming service or get a free trial, you can watch it before you see it on disc and make up your mind on if you want to purchase it. But yeah, Twin Peaks probably stacked. However, literally 55 or less for literally everything Twin Peaks is a huge steal. It's an incredible deal. You should absolutely get it if you like Twin Peaks. If you can afford it, no big deal. Go ahead.
Doesn't A to Z have the 4K disc of episode 1, 8, and 17 of The Return?
Yes, three of them in 4K. The rest are only on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
and obviously there's been a rumor that Criterion is supposedly working on 4Ks of everything. I still don't know that I believe that.
Maybe not the TV series, but who knows?
Right, I could see them doing The Return. Just The Return.
I could see that,
but I don't know. It would be an odd choice, but I would love to have it, as long as they treat it right. The only other recent watch I was going to bring up for my birthday this last weekend, I had a bunch of family and friends over, and after all of the people that don't care about movies or people that had kids left, I played Dead Alive or Brain Dead for everybody, and it's the first time I've seen it in probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and the first time I've really watched it with a crowd. And goddamn, that was super fun. People that had never seen it before responding to everything, and lines like "I kick ass for the Lord" was just, it laid everybody out. It was so perfect.
Oh, is that what that's from? I know that line from the from Michael Keane's intro of this YouTube series.
From Dead Alive, yeah. Stan wants to know what your shirt says.
Oh, it's Vamp Security. It's from it's a rapper, Playboy Cardi. He's a pretty famous rapper, but I went and saw him in Orlando, I think in 2021 for his Whole Lotta Red tour, and his whole thing is that he's a vampire. So
Silent Mandible says, looked up that bit about Mickey Rooney's wife. It's true, apparently. Also, Mickey Rooney has 50 wives, and I guess one of them dead.
Yep. Classic Hollywood.
Yes, Craig, the TV series was shot on 35 millimeter. And yeah, Dead Alive definitely needs a blue. And obviously we've been hearing for years that it's supposedly coming in this early Jackson set with Meet the Feebles and Bad Taste, which would be incredible. I'd love to see anybody put it out, but now that everybody's all up in arms about his AI restorations, I don't know.
Well, that could be the thing that's for 2025. That's this year's happiness, or the keep or whatever. That's like,
we'll be talking about that thing, yeah. Before I share the video, because I want a couple other people to be able to see it, let's talk about Norman Studios and what you do there. Before we go into the videos and all that, just share with everybody what Norman Studios is and what you does, what you do, not what you does. And then everybody should be here, and I'll play my video, and then we'll share your video. Cool.
Yeah, no, Norman Studios, silent film museum here in Jacksonville, Florida. Back in the early 1900s, almost the entire film industry moved here from Fort Lee, New Jersey, because they were trying to get away from the Edison patents and try to establish an independent film mecca down here, which they did for about 10 years. And there was about 30-ish studios here at its peak, before the conservative government and a whole bunch of other things, and Los Angeles becoming the new mecca. Everything moved out of here, moved out to Los Angeles. So it was about a 10-year period here where there was a lot of studios. But then after all of them left, a white gentleman from Middleburg, which is basically a suburb of Jacksonville, moved back from the Midwest down here and bought one of these studios that's in the Arlington neighborhood, which at that point was very hard to get to because of the St. Johns River. He started a film studio there called Norman Studios after his name, Richard Norman, where he was making race films in the 20s. And he made those were all films with all African-American casts, which is unheard of at that time, pretty much. I mean, they only had probably a handful of filmmakers making films like that. And it was very unheard of to be happening in the South. So it's a big deal that these studios, the full property actually still survives because of its location in the Arlington neighborhood. At that time, it was very difficult to get there. So over the years, when all the other old studios were paved over and turned into parking garages, this one stood. And the family actually lived there until the 70s when they sold the buildings off, which this is kind of part of what we're talking about tonight, is that last weekend, well, 2 weekends ago now, we had the grand opening of the 5th and final building. So I think I did your show for the first time, 3 years ago, maybe?
Wasn't that long. I think it was summer of 2023.
Maybe 2023. Okay. I did Daisuke Beppu, I think, during the like height of COVID. And my friend actually found that video and sent it to me the other day. And he's like, damn, this Norman Studio stuff is crazy. And I was like, man, that video is so probably out of date for all the different things that have happened. And
yeah,
probably from the first time or definitely from the first time I did your show, I was hoping that we were able to get the fifth and final property because we didn't know if we were going to be able to. In 1972, when the family moved out of the studios, 4 of them got bought by one guy and then another one got splintered off. In the 90s, a church bought it, and it's been a church since the 90s. So they've been actually, keeping up with the building, and there's carpet and electricity and toilets and stuff like that. And internet and phone service and all that. So like it was a more modern building. In 2021, we were able to renovate the inside of the production building where they process the film. And now that's a brand new state-of-the-art museum. The age keeps getting younger. Dude, I'll be 30 in October, which is crazy. So damn. I know I'm getting old, man.
I think it was the first time you were on Chasing Labels. Steven said, like, very much like, this kid's a baby. It was like, how old are you? And I think you were like 26.
26.
27.
Yeah, that makes sense. 26 or 27. Yeah.
And he was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
but, yeah, that building's now a museum. So then it's been this last building that we were hoping that we were going to be able to purchase from the church. Luckily, the church is awesome. They're all awesome people, and they wanted to sell it to us because they knew how important it was. It's our buildings we're a National Historic Landmark. So it's like the highest honor you can get as a site. So they wanted to sell it to us, and obviously they wanted a good price for it though, so, but eventually the city was able to purchase the building. They were able to come to an agreement. Now, when we got it, it was pretty in shape, but we had to do a lot of stuff. We had to redo the HVAC. We had to redo the carpet and the hardwood floors or whatever, and kind of spruce it up a little bit. But 2 Saturdays ago, we actually had the grand opening for it. And we've also named the building the Rita F. Rakin Memorial Building because she was the president of Norman Studios board of directors from 2002 until she died in 2023. And she was the one that took a chance on me and many other people on the board of people. She saw people's passion, and she took me as a 18-year-old, I think, and let me join the board of directors with them and let me learn under their wings of how all of this stuff works. And without her, I wouldn't be able to be working with these people today. She really is an amazing woman, and she fought so hard for the city to take care of these properties, and now they're finally doing it. And I think some of her personality will shine in the video that you'll see of her for sure, because she was one of the best people I've ever met.
Well, I don't want to feel like an a-hole and be like, well, now let's watch the LA video. So
no. Yeah. No, play the LA video. We
were watching the Rita video.
Okay.
It's a very short video. I apologize for everybody on the podcast that don't get to see this, but just listen, and hopefully you all love this.
Yeah, I filmed this of her in 2020. I believe this was like during the height of COVID. I did these little productions of all these all the board members of like kind of why they work for Norman Studios.
And Rita was obviously super important to Norman, so please pay attention. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Rita Reagan. I'm a former educator in Duval County Schools and Broward County. I've been involved with Norman Studios since 1993. I was living in Springfield, which is a historic district downtown, and I was volunteering for SPAR. I got a phone call asking me to participate in this new project, and I didn't know what it was. I thought that the one I was working on, the Clutho apartment buildings, was the last remnant of the movie industry in Jacksonville. I thought I didn't need another project because my life was consumed with trying to save the Clutho Apartments, which was part of a new movie studio in Springfield. But then I found out that this complex of falling down buildings on Arlington Road was actually a movie studio. And it was a whole movie studio, silent film studio, which didn't exist in this country. They had all been subsumed into other purposes. And then I found out what Richard Norman, who he was and what he did, and understood what race film was. And so that made me realize that I really needed to get involved in this project. And I have been ever since. And what is amazing is that this year we're getting ready to turn this building into a museum. As you can see, it's gutted. And so it's going to be wonderful working here after all those years of working in a building that had no air conditioning, no heating, no bathrooms or anything like that. All of our faith and all of our hard work is going to be vindicated.
Man, it hurts so much to know that she died in 2023.
Yeah, it really does. But the cool thing is you'll see in this photo was actually just about a month before she passed away, she was actually able to make it to the grand opening of the production building where that was recorded.
Is it the one up by the lights? Is that the first one to show?
No, not the one with the chandeliers, but the other one.
Okay, I'll get the other one up.
Okay.
Of course, I did it the wrong. Oh, yep. Now I see her.
Yep. So this was the summer of 2023 when we had the grand opening of the museum itself, which we've been open the first and third Saturdays of every month. You could see her there with her fist raised. So that building right there, that's the inside of our main museum. So that building where we were just recording, where there was no walls or no floors or everything, that's where she was she's sitting right there where that video was shot. So this is all completely like state-of-the-art museum that is here. And she was able to see that before she passed away, which was awesome.
And then our second photo.
So this is from the grand opening of the building that we named after her. So when that other photo was taken, we did not have access to this building. This is the building that was a church. You could see how it's set up with the stage where, the priest would be and everything. And then where all the chairs are, or where all the pews would be at. This building, now that we have it, will be our event space where we'll hold galas like this and fundraising events. And also we'll be the return this year of the Silent Sundays, where quarterly we will show silent films with live musical accompaniment, which is something that I was the programmer of when we were doing it pre-COVID. We haven't been able to do it since COVID because the place we were doing it is under new management. It's a hotel. And it wasn't really the best location to show movies because there's just giant windows and the projector in there was weak and everything. Now this space right here, it's very easy to block out those two windows on the side over there. And I just got to find the right audio visual setup for in here. And hopefully by this summer, we'll be able to be showing films again. So
incredible.
That man over there playing the vibraphone is that's the percussion professor at JU, Jacksonville University, which is right down the street. And he is the guy that did all the live music for the silent films we were doing from 2016 through 2019. And he is awesome. He is so good. And he'll bring along usually 2 or 3 guys or girls with him to perform. So he usually does some kind of percussive instrument, and then he'll usually bring along like maybe a bass player or, some trumpets or something, a piano player. Yeah. And they always do really, really good work. So I said, hey, you're ready to start this back up, right? And he was like, I hope so. I was hoping you'd reach out to me. I was like, all right, well, you're doing it. So we're very much looking forward to the return of Silent Sundays this year.
Incredible. I hope if you are even within a few hours, it seems like it's absolutely worth it to make the trip. Check out all the links for Norman Studios are in the description for social media, for the website. You can go view the calendar for events. You can follow it on social media so you can get updates. Gage does a lot of that to help out with the studio. So you're supporting people that love films. And yeah, I mean, this is every time you come on here, it's just like such a special thing to be able to hear about the updates. Thank
you. I really appreciate you allowing me to come on here and talk about Norman Studios. So I appreciate anybody that even just follows us on Facebook, really. And if you can, please go to our donation page and make any donations that you can, because this is all I pay to be a board member. I don't make money off of this. I spend my money and my time.
Yeah.
Like that building that we just showed that event in, I spent 2 weekends painting the bathrooms in there, and I don't think I ever want to paint again. I hate it. So much work. But so yeah, anything that you could ever donate would be awesome, because who knows what the future of arts funding is going to look like in the next, handful of years. So
Yeah.
it could be pretty bad. So it's going to really survive off of film fans like us that are interested in this kind of stuff. So please make it down if you can.
The best thing we can do in times like this is celebrate the arts, celebrate film, and raise that up to everybody. So in Rita's honor, back to the silliness, this is the video that I still have not seen. Jeremy edited this, and I'm not sure exactly what we're about to see. Yes, there are T-shirts that you can purchase for Norman Studios.
Yes, and I'm so sorry. I've been coming on Ryan's show for like 3 years, telling you that the T-shirt. He has one now. He has one. They're real shirts. I sent him one, and unfortunately, it's just such a hard thing to get down of having the shirts, because then we sell them in person, but then we have to have some for the website.
Yep.
And then the bureaucracy of me having to give information to the board that can give it to our webmaster that can get the stuff posted. That's through we have a third party that takes care of membership stuff. Like, it has to be done through them. And then like stock and is hard to manage and everything with the stuff. So right now, like, it's just easier to come to the studio and buy them, which is obviously hard as hell for.
If you want a shirt, drive to Florida. Come on.
Yeah, drive to Jacksonville, Florida. So eventually we will get these shirts on there, but they're selling very well. But yeah, we have really cool shirts, and if you're in the Discord, I can post video or photos which I shared, or you can just go look at my last video of the Disconnected, and within the first 10 minutes of the video, I know Ryan shows off the photos of the T-shirts. So
Gage, let's talk about T-shirts afterwards, because I got an idea for you.
Yeah. Oh, and hold on one real quick too. We also have posters. Here's a poster of the Lost film, which if you have that Pioneers of African American Cinema box set, there's one reel that still survives, and it's very, very, very damaged with nitrate decomposition. But it's a poster for that movie, Regeneration.
Wow.
And we sell these posters of it. This is a frame, just a cheap Target frame that I put in it. But
the best kind.
Yeah, exactly. So we sell posters.
All right. So check out Norman Studios, support them as best you can. God, I can't wait to see these in person. All right. So silly video. Surprised Jeremy by flying to LA yesterday. He had no idea this has been planned for like 6 weeks. Finally, held it in for the longest time. Got to see him tonight. Again, I have not seen this video, so I hope it's good. It's 3 minutes long. So again, I apologize to everybody on the podcast that can't see this. Hopefully the sound is funny. Here we go. All right, now I'm recording. Giant me walking away.
Running. Oh, even faster.
Jeremy's fast forward.
Yeah. Tape fast forwarding. That's good.
I got an Arbalose order waiting for me. Damn, I didn't get an Arbalose order.
Casually talking about Arbalose walking in the house.
And here's Alex. He's clearly up to no good. I'm peeing unknowingly. No, I don't know if Ryan's here. Here he is texting Ryan, right? You're texting Ryan here, letting him know that I'm in the bathroom peeing. And then he spots the hidden camera, gives it a little smile. And we're fast forwarding. Man, this is a long piss. Fast forwarding. You're texting Ryan, boy, I hope you didn't fall in.
Oh my god.
And I'm about to come out of the bathroom right about now. Okay. So Ryan sent me a little package. Oh.
Very obviously recording with his cell phone.
Japan fetish model.
2 cameras.
Tease me, touch me, take me.
He gave you this card
Or hospital.
since he knew that we'd be together.
That's for me?
Yeah.
What the hell is it? Why is he sending us stuff?
Well, he sent me that for the Patreon.
Oh.
Then he said, I know you're going to be with Jeremy, so.
What the hell? Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is.
Maybe this is why I wanted to be the FaceTime him so badly.
Creeping.
Oh, it's just a happy year card. Oh, it's a very nice lot. Surprise.
I didn't see this angle. This is great.
How long did you have to keep that a secret for? Hey, buddy. Good. You were so sweet.
Brian, feel my fucking heart. Oh my gosh, Brian does know. You're the only person.
Everybody knows.
Oh, look at this. There's a hidden camera.
All right.
Great.
So yes, Jeremy is very tall. Jeremy is, I think, 6'3", maybe 6'4". In fact, when Will and Jeremy and I were all together, I felt really bad for everybody around us because all three of us were like between 6'3" and 6'5".
Yeah, I'm 70. I'm 6'3".
Jesus.
Isn't Celeste very tall too?
Celeste is very tall, I think. Only like a couple inches shorter than Will.
Oh man. Yeah, we got to get together and meet people up. We're
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that my sister joined and said, "What did I just join into?"
That's awesome.
So yeah, we are here. We're going to be talking about some of the Sundance film that we watched next week on the show. So come back for that. Yeah, a lot to cover tonight. So we should probably just get into it. Let me make sure that I'm sharing this other one because we had way more than I expected to get announced this week.
Cool. And I just wanted to say too, I think it was Colton that said that Louisville had a silent film with it was Colton Wilkins said, I love to see silent films with the commitment going strong. Louisville has started to have so many showings, especially in the fall. That's really cool because there's not a lot of places to see silent film anymore.
Oh man, yeah, that's a great thing. I love how everybody's randomly talking about their height in the chat now. All right, let's get into the regular part of the show with some announcements. We got some details on Fun City Editions putting out Baby It's You from 1983. This had been previously announced. This is getting a limited slipcover. Previously, they had been saying their slipcovers are strictly limited to their site, but now they're openly saying that it is also going to be available on Diabolic. This is going to have a new audio commentary with Bill Ackerman, booklet with new essays by Gavin Smith and Carolyn Madden. That comes with the first pressing only. There's an image gallery. But then what is really cool about this one, new video interviews with John Sayles, Amy Robinson, Griffin Dunn, Rosanna Arquette, Vincent Spano, and Matthew Modine. Like,
damn,
that is wild.
Star-studded them. Fun City Editions.
I read the thing about the booklet and the commentary. I was like, all right, that's all right. And then saw everything and went, oh my gosh, they got so many people on this.
That's impressive.
Loving this artwork. I think
Me
this
too.
is pretty beautiful. Can't wait to see how this does for Fun City because John Sayles has a bunch of titles that need to be released.
Seems like they've, I know, it's kind of always a talking point about them not doing as well once they moved away from OCN, but seems like they've had a string of hits here lately with Heavenly Bodies and then the, what was the other film that sold out very quickly?
Oh, the Paradise.
Paradise, yes. And I missed both of those slipcovers. I'm very upset about it. So,
well, thankfully, there's a bunch of white knights on eBay that will sell you one for $212.
Okay. Well, maybe when I get my tax returns, I'll just spend it all on 2 movies.
Not even movies, the pieces of cardboard.
Yeah, just the slipcovers. Yeah. But I want to get this for sure.
This looks gorgeous. Yeah. Next up is a really interesting announcement. May 27th, MVD is putting out the first title in the Smod Castle Cinema line. This is A Better Place from 1997. This is a new line that they're making in a partnership that is done with View Askew Productions, which is, of course, Kevin Smith's productions company. He and Scott Mosier. This is Vincent Pereira's edgy teen thriller that supposedly has a bunch of drama wrapped up in it. I've never seen this. Heard that it's decent. Love that they have this partnership. I'm a big fan of most of Kevin Smith things. Obviously, he didn't have an actual hand in making the film, but he did help produce it. And looks good.
Yeah, this is from 1997, I think it was when I looked it up. I'd never heard of this, and I did a little bit of research about it, and that all sounds pretty interesting. I'm interested to see where this Smodcastle Cinema line goes with this.
Yeah, and this is the director's cut. We've also got a new intro by the director, Vincent Pereira. There's some archival extras on here, and then also includes like vintage introduction, stuff like that, multiple commentary stuff, outtakes, bloopers, all the fun stuff. So this is the first of, we'll see how many. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, do you know if Kevin Smith had any kind of involvement in this?
I know he helped produce it. I don't know if it was just funding, but knowing how Kevin is, he probably gave notes on the film and all that with it so that he could help. Yes, I do think Synapse put this out on DVD way back in the day.
Okay.
Long time ago. Madhouse says, I'd love a Clerks box set. I would too if they treated it right and we got everything. The hard part, and I'm stoked on MVD a lot because a lot of it is budget friendly, which is always a good thing. However, they don't, because it's budget friendly, they don't usually shell out for a bunch of new stuff. And I doubt that this would get enough love if they were doing the full-blown like Kevin Smith films. Like Dogma is supposedly coming back into print. I kind of hope it's not this, and I hope it's somebody like Arrow, because Dogma deserves a better release than this is going to get.
Yeah, which I was thinking, Dogma, he supposedly has got the rights back to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because usually that's what it is, like 25 years. Usually rights revert back to the owner or whatever with a lot of those guys from the 90s, because that's what happened with Pi, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so yeah, I hope that happened. Yeah, I hope it's not released through Smodcastle Cinema. I mean, I don't know. I could be lying. They could be doing a good job over there.
Yeah, they could invest super well into it. We'll see. Yeah. Hopefully we get something great from it. Next up, Paddington 2 coming to 4K on February 11th here in the U.S. from Warner Brothers. I got a lot of comments on this one because, all three are coming to 4K in the UK. Get that. And yeah, absolutely. Go get that if you can, if you're somebody that imports. But I know a lot of people are just, looking for what's easy to get in the U.S., whatever. The hard part, in the U.S., all three Paddington films are owned by three different companies. We are never going to get a set like they are in the UK, unfortunately. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just not going to work out like that. So we're getting Paddington 2. We won't have Paddington 1 on 4K unless they announce it, but they will never be tied together. Paddington in Peru looks fantastic.
Hold on, is there a Paddington 3 and then there's a fourth one called Paddington in Peru?
The third one is Paddington in Peru, and it's coming out.
Oh, it's not out yet.
I think it already released in the UK, maybe.
Okay. And
it's like about to come out here, like at the end of February or maybe even in March.
I can't believe that Paddington 2 came out in 2017. Holy shit.
We've been waiting a long time.
Oh my God. Time is flying. That's crazy. That is insane. That's pre-COVID. Oh my God.
Yeah. Long before COVID.
I remember seeing the trailers for this all the time. That's crazy.
Yeah, you were like, what, 7?
Yeah. I was shitting in my diapers.
I don't mean to add to the ageism, but yes.
At 7 years old.
Let's get into some Scream and Shout Factory, because this was a weird month for them. April 29th, they are putting out a 4K of Jean-Claude Van Damme's Time Cop. Which is great. Like, a lot of people have been wanting this for a long time. I'm sure it'll look amazing. That being said, it has nothing on it. You have the film. That is it. Not a single extra, no archival extras, nothing new, just Time Cop, which is great. The hard part, they're going to charge the exact same price as a features loaded release, which is crazy.
And it's like $36.99 too.
Yeah, their 4K prices are wild.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't buy a lot of Shout Factory. I like, obviously I like what they put out because they put out big shit like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Time Cop's cool. Time Cop is a movie I've only ever like caught on TV though. I wouldn't even say that I've watched it. I've seen bits and pieces of it throughout the years, but yeah, I don't know. I tend to find myself not buying a lot of Shout Factory stuff. Not
Same.
that I hate them because everybody hates on them or whatever, but I just always feel too like this may get an Arrow 4K 2 years from now. That's
or in 5 months, literally.
Yeah, or in 5 months, and it's like I'm kind of almost that way with the Kina stuff as well, which we'll talk about that later with 3 huge ones.
Yep.
It's like
yep.
I'm kind of putting off a lot of this stuff, but this is cool. I'm happy this is coming out.
Yeah, I'm glad it's getting released too. It needed a good release, and I have no doubt this will look astonishing on 4K.
And I want to say, wasn't this on the Blu-ray with Bloodsport? And it was like they were both only available on like a 2-pack together. I think Time Cop was only available on like a double feature single Blu-ray disc.
Something like that. Somebody in the chat will confirm, I'm sure, in just a moment. But
could be wrong, but I think it was.
Sivner says, "Yup." I was too busy laughing at Colton saying, "I'm waiting for Paddington Scared Stupid."
Oh my god! Yo, by the way, I've been watching Pop Culture Jeopardy on Amazon. Have you seen any of that yet?
It's so good,
dude. My girlfriend and I are fucking.
I feel so smart.
I know. She's always like, "How do you know that?" But "Scared Stupid" was one of the answers.
Yep.
One of the things I watched last night, and I knew that, and she's like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's that guy."
I hope my wife is still watching. They went through one whole round, and she was like, "I didn't get any of those," and I went, "I know," and I feel like I knew stuff I didn't even know I knew.
I bet you it was the same episode we watched last night. I think it was like episode 8 or 9, maybe somewhere around there. There was like, there's 27 episodes. There was one segment where 2 of the categories was like all theater stuff, and that's where I kind of fall short on it. So
you see this comment? Ryan
that's pretty
says,
funny.
"I saw Time Cop in a movie when Gage was in utero."
What year is Time Cop?
Time Cop is 1994.
Oh man, yeah, it could have been. Shit. Oh no, I guess not, because I was born in October of '95, so I was.
Unless you were a long gestating baby.
Yeah. That's how. Yeah.
All right, next one from Shout. The Hunt from 2020 is getting a 4K from them on April 22nd. Now, this is where things get interesting, because you'll notice there's no slipcover on this, which they normally put on their. It's guaranteed to get on their collector's editions, and you would think, man, this probably isn't going to have very much then because it's not a collector's edition. You scroll down, this has 3 brand new commentaries on a 4K disc and a Blu-ray disc. And then the Blu-ray disc also has 4 brand new interviews and some archival features. So this is not a collector's edition and has 7 new bonus features, 3 of them audio commentaries. Time Cop gets a slipcover and nothing new.
This is like they were both, another joke about this, they were both gestating together. This is like the twin that sucks all the power from the Time Cop. This took all the budget for all of the...
This is the vestigial twin?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. 3 new commentaries for The Hunt, which I genuinely enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. But this is crazy when you compare it to Time Cop.
Yeah, I need to check this out still. This looks good.
Fun one. It's a fun one. Betty Gilpin is really good. And then they add to the drama a little bit more. Sorority House Massacre from 1986, getting a 4K from them on April 8th. And this one, just a couple years ago, maybe not even a couple years ago, like a year and a half ago, was a site-exclusive Blu-ray on Shout Factory. It's the only way you could get it. And it was $30 plus shipping, plus tax. So you're looking at, if you only buy that title, like $42. That's a lot of money. And then they put it out on 4K. And, I just said recently, it was maybe a year and a half ago. This one just came out April of 2023. So almost 2 years, we'll say. By the time this comes out, it'll be 2 years, literally, exactly 2 years. And now it's getting a 4K release.
Nah, dude, April 2023 was a few months ago, bro. Don't tell me.
That was last Thursday.
Yeah, holy shit. But yeah, no, that's funny. That's crazy. I didn't even realize. This is why I'm so glad you do this show, because like I feel like I know this shit pretty well, but everything. You're so good. And that is crazy. This was one of those site exclusives.
Exclusives.
The next day after you said, oh, we haven't seen a site exclusive in a while, they just reissued all of them with like 200 copies or something like that. Like the day after you said that on their podcast.
Yeah, I swear Shout is listening.
They have to be.
So this one also has a new bonus feature on here. Last time they had some new stuff with Amanda Reyes, a couple other archival features. This one has a new bonus on here. It's called The Final Girl, a guide to surviving slasher films. Again, solid release, just wild that you would choose to do this on 4K just about 2 years after you do it on a site exclusive Blue. That's to me, that's a bad choice.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. But haven't they gone through some kind of leadership change in the past year or so?
It's been a long process. It's been like the last 2.5 years that they've been kind of kicking some people out and bringing people in. It's been a lot.
Yeah, I mean, because so like at this point, like they probably don't. The people that are there now don't even think of this as a movie they just released 2 years ago. You know, I mean,
nothing existed before them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we should put this out. You know, they probably don't even think like that.
Yep. In the chat, Ben says they use us to test market interest, and it frustrates me. Yeah. Literally that. And in all reality, send a survey. I'd be much happier to do that than spend $30.
Sony does that, and they put out
do.
like everything that's on their surveys. It's pretty good. They do a really good job of that.
Thanks, Corinne.
Oh my God, I need to do that shit.
Ends tomorrow. We're going to talk about that just a little bit.
Okay.
Next is what Gage was talking about. Another site exclusive, Communion. This was released a handful of years ago. Was a Shout site exclusive. You could only get it there. Now they just said, hey, we're re-releasing it. And also, hey, there's 400 copies. This thing was going for decent money on eBay. And now they're giving it to 400 people, which great. I think more people should have it, but you probably should not have done a limited site exclusive the first time.
No. And I feel like, I mean, I don't own the Blu-ray business, so I don't know if this is smart, but in my opinion, I feel like if they really like were somewhat transparent and had some kind of like real identity with what these site exclusives are, like almost kind of like a vault thing, if they would be like, hey, this thing's limited, kind of like how what Mondo did with that Possession Blu-ray Forever, they'd be like, hey, this is limited, and then it would sell out and be out of print for like 2 months or 3 months, and then it'd come back, you know what I mean? Like if they did that with Communion, they're like, hey, this drop, we're only going to do 250 of them.
Right.
If it sells out, you know, 6 months later, okay, we're going to do another 250 of them. But, you know, if you put them up there and they only sell slowly, like maybe that's the only time they get printed. Make like, if you made a thing out of it, I think people would be less angry about being used as
guess what's back.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, the Disney Vault. Yeah, but for Shout Factory.
The fucking Disney Vault. Anyways, yeah, I agree. Spaghetti Communion is a great movie. It also got released by Imprint over in Australia. However, this is actually the better release. For once, this is better than the Imprint release. If you're into this movie, this is the time. Forget the scalpers. Go get it for you while it's cheap. We got more site exclusives coming back. But first, while posting this, Shout took a break. They just stopped for a couple hours. And in the meantime, Severance said, hold on, we're taking over. Went too fast. Let's talk about how in mid-March, or if you're buying it from a wide release, April 29th, they are releasing their next two Russ Meyer 4K and Blu-ray sets. This first one is Up from 1976. This will have an audio commentary with Elizabeth Purcell. And then on the Blu-ray, it will have that same commentary. And then an interview with actress Raven de la Croix. We got a radio spot. And then they are also on the same day releasing Motorpsycho from 1965. This is the worldwide UHD Blu-ray premiere, available for the first time in 20 plus years. We got an audio commentary with Elizabeth Purcell and Zach Clark, and then interview with the actors Haji and Alex Rocco. This is fantastic. The rumor had been that they were going to be putting out 5 Russ Meyer titles to sort of see how they could do with them, and then they were going to say, hey, what else can we do? So we're going to see what happens with the estate. We don't know anything else about more titles coming, but supposedly the Severn podcast, they hint that there's likely more since everybody saw what they did with the first 3.
Yeah, the Severn podcast, can't recommend that enough. That podcast kicks ass, dude. It's so good. I love listening to that. I'm so glad that you are doing that now with multiple Blu-ray labels. It's really cool because I think you and I and everybody wants that from everybody. So it's so cool that we get that from Deaf Crocodile and Mondo, and now this is awesome. So yeah, they kind of hint at it. They kind of talk about with Motor Psycho, there being some kind of extra that they had already recorded, and they were like, we wanted, it was either that or Up, one of the two. They were just like, we had to make sure if we got anything from them, we wanted to get that one because we had this cool extra that we recorded and put that on there. So they're like, at least, we got these out. So they kind of talk like that, like, oh man, is this maybe the only 5 they're going to do? But then, like you said, they kind of tease that. I believe we're probably going to see more.
Oh, yeah, these sold well. I can almost guarantee that we're going to see more. Will we see all of them? Maybe not. I mean, there is quite a possibility that some of the elements are not great, or maybe they want to hold a couple of them back. Just obviously, the big title is Faster Pussycat, and I really hope they're willing to give that and get the definitive release, because so many people are going to snatch that up quick if they're able to.
Yeah, I'm very interested. I have a friend that's buying all of these right now. Well, he at least bought the first 3, and he sent me. He's like, Gage, I know you saw these more Russ Meyer stuff coming out, so I'm pretty sure he's going to get these as well. But he really wants Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. Obviously, that's the one that everybody wants. And I was telling him, I'm like, I have a feeling that if Severn does it, it's a Black Friday title, so you might be waiting a little bit, and then if not, I was like, they could possibly have even given it to someone else to do it. I don't know.
That could be. Spaghetti here, who's in the chat, he helps with some of the Severn shipping sometimes. And just simply put, he says, they sold a lot.
They sold a lot. That's good.
Love it. The Severn podcast is great because it is about transparency and a peek behind the curtains. And that's what we're really trying to do with some of these other podcasts. So I'm glad people are listening. Speaking of that, new episode of the Deaf Crocodile podcast coming out tomorrow. Check it out.
Ooh.
Which means 2 new titles dropping.
Which, if you're in the Discord, you already know what those 2 titles are.
And you've already seen the art. Look at that.
You should join the Discord, everybody. If you're not in it, it's a hell of a time.
We're going to be talking about that later, too. That is the 2 Russ Meyers, but Severn wasn't done. No, they said, hey, that gentleman, Will Dodson, let's make him happier than he's ever been, even happier than when he had children. But we'll talk about that in a minute. The 3rd title is The Pickup from 1968. This is not Pickup that Vinegar Syndrome had released as part of their sexploitation series a few years ago. This is a very different title. This is a Lee Frost title. This is the world Blu-ray premiere. Plus, if you get it through their web store, it has the exclusive bonus disc that has Mau Mau Sex Sex. The Pickup is from 1968. And like I said, it has Lee Frost. And if you like some of the other ones that they put out, you're going to love this. Some great stuff on here. Video essay by Stephen Broomer, who is the gentleman behind the experimental film boutique out of Canada that does great. And then we've got commentary with the director, Ted Bonnet and David Gregory from Severn. There's an archival commentary on Mau Mau Sex Sex with David F. Friedman and Dan Sunny. Another archival commentary. There's so much on here. This is a really, really fun looking release.
I really want this one. This is the one I want the most out of the 3, honestly. And by the way, Ryan, you should post the link to your Discord in there because you got 2 people asking for that disc. They said Ryan Gals says, "What is this Discord you speak of?"
It's because he's in there all the time.
And then Madhouse says, "Bro, post the Discord link." So you gotta hook these guys up. But yeah, the Pickup.
To get in the Discord, you got to join the Patreon, and link in the description below. We'll talk about the reasons for that in just a little bit. But yeah, this release looks amazing. Love the cover art on this, just like Craig just said. Astonishing looking release. One that I definitely need to get eventually.
Check out the trailer that they posted of it as well. I just watched the first 12 seconds of it and was like, "Oh baby, I need this. I need this." And then Mau Mau Sex Sex. Do you know what that is?
It's an old something weird title, I believe.
Yeah, it's a documentary from like 2000 or 2001 with the producers of like of a whole bunch of these films, these like Lee Frost films or writers from the Lee Frost films or something like that. And it's basically like them talking about making these films of that time period. And it sounds really interesting. They had Lisa Petrucci.
Yep.
Is that her name? Yeah, they had her on there talking about Mau Mau Sex and how important that documentary was to her. And it sounds really killer too. So I'm definitely going to be getting this. Anything with the bonus movie on it, Instant Cop for sure.
I think Will had the same reaction as Gary here, who said Mau Mau was great, more interested in that than the pickup.
Yeah.
But I know Will wants both because he's a big Lee Frost guy. I know I glanced over it just being funny, but the Russ Meyer titles also have a mega bundle that you can get, has the 2 films, has a Russ Meyer t-shirt, and then some vintage treasures from the Russ Meyer estate, including some VHS sleeves or business cards. Cool stuff, although I don't know what I would do necessarily with the VHS sleeve of Up, for example. I'd love to say that I would frame it, but probably not.
Frame it like people do vinyls on their walls or something.
I could see thinking that's a fun idea and then never doing it.
Yeah. I know I got to do something with my wall space in here. I have so much empty. This is the goal though. I just real quick, a lot of people in the Discord know a tree fell on my house in September, and I just finally got a new roof put on the house Friday. But currently, I still have like the whole living room is like in my movie room in here. And then on top of that, I don't have my fancy light set up this time because somebody stole the lights out of my car. They saw my destroyed house and was like, I got to rob this dude. Yeah, I need to get a new TV because I'm going to be putting my 65-inch OLED out into the living room. And then I'm going to be getting a 77-inch in here. And then I got to figure out what I want to do with wall space. I got so many killer posters from Vinegar Syndrome in my bud and stuff. So
nice. I don't know if he wanted it shared, but I'll say it here now. Sorry in advance, Craig. Craig just texted me, and this is just, we can make your face red. He said Gage is one of your best guests.
Oh my God, bro! Stop. That's awesome. I appreciate that so much. Really,
everybody loves you.
That's great. I love that. I love that everybody loves me. No, Greg is like probably one of the guys I would love to sit down and have a beer with out of all of your guests. I would love to sit down and kind of just chat with him and pick his brain a little bit because he has a very interesting job.
He sure does. I watched him restoring some shorts today for an upcoming title, and just watching some of the stuff disappear or seeing how one of the things he showed me is like, you can tell this was scanned by a cheap scanner because, when film deteriorates, it's not going to be in like a grid formation. Like, okay, share that, take a screenshot and go put it on social media so everybody can get that.
Yeah. That's why I want to sit down with him and look at like a fucking raw scan and see, and like, I want to know how the sausage is made. That's how it is. But I get it. It's a magic trick what they do. So
truly is.
Yeah.
All right. So that is Severin. Let's go back and get mad at Scream Factory again. The next one, Caged Heat and Jackson County Jail, a 2-pack of films that have been released together for a very long time. These are once again being released, and this one is not just limited to 400. This is limited to 1,200 copies. And everybody wanted Will's reaction. Will just texted me the words Mau Mau Sex and Lee Frost, baby.
I'm gonna crack one open for that, Will.
Perfect. So yeah, this is back for everybody. Glad you can get it, but also if you're going to re-release 1,200, put some bonus features or something. Come on, this is from all the way back on the DVD. These are the exact same archival features. That is lazy.
Weren't these two bundled on DVD back in the day?
Yeah.
I about to say, I remember browsing Movie Stop and seeing this double feature of DVDs.
Yep. It's
Movie Stop.
And Roger Corman.
Yeah, we lost him last year, sadly.
And he's the reason that we have films like these. Going to the next one. Their next new title is Renfield, coming on 4K on April 1st. And this is going to have a handful of archival extras that were on some other releases. But then we also have a new feature called Dracula Sucks, How I Survived the Making of Renfield, with in-depth documentary features with new interviews with the cast and crew, with never before seen behind the scenes footage. They got to get you with something, and that's how they got you.
I wanted to see this very badly when it came out. So, and that's funny, Craig, that you don't want to ruin. That's why I want to sit down and have a beer with you. I don't want you to have to do it on.
I mean, you don't have to say the title. Just show the red marks that we were talking about.
Yeah, Renfield is definitely one I want to get. This when this came out, I was really upset for missing it. I feel like this was like the start of stuff being in theaters for like a week.
Yeah,
was when this came out.
Did you watch this yet?
No, I've not seen this. I really want this, and I also want the 4K of The Last Voyage of the Demeter too, which I know a lot of people poo-poo, but I think I'll like it. I think I'll like it. Yeah.
It wasn't. I wouldn't say this was bad. It's not great, but it's certainly not what you probably expected going into it.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of this movie is pretty cool. I think I like that because Renfield.
Not to mention Cage playing Cage essentially is so good.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And then Renfield from the 1931 Dracula is my favorite character in that movie. Yep. Unfortunately, I'm sure that Nicholas Hoult plays it very differently. But
we're going to talk about that Dracula more in just a minute. Actually, next from Shout is Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain, coming on April 1st on Blu-ray. This is one of the SNL groups like the Lonely Island was for a while. This has new audio commentary with the director and a bunch of actors that are in this as well. Some deleted scenes in a gag reel. I've never seen this. I wouldn't mind watching it.
I didn't know what it was until you posted it the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I've never heard of it, but I'm always interested in everything. I thought that was Conan O'Brien back there in the back.
It is Conan O'Brien.
Is it? Oh my God. Okay, then I have to see it because Conan was my favorite.
It's a really low-res picture because Shout Factory sucks on their website. But that is absolutely Conan O'Brien.
Holy shit. Yeah, I definitely got to check this then. It's funny, my age again. So like 2000, when I was like 9 years old, I guess that'd be like third grade, fourth grade, around that time. That's when like my parents just gave up on bedtime stuff and I was just staying up all night. And every night I would watch Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien, and then who was the guy from MTV from that took the third. There was a third show that came on after. It was
TRL?
a guy from TRL. What was that guy's name?
Carson Daly.
He had a talk show that would come on after Conan O'Brien, and I would stay up all night watching all three of those, playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, just like watching those. And so when Conan made the move over to the Tonight Show and everything, like I was like full all in on that, and like was so sad when that got taken away from him. And I've been a huge Conan. He still is the best when it comes to late night stuff. He's my favorite. So
Carson's great. I will say Craig Ferguson is an easy close second.
Craig Ferguson, I know a lot of people liked him a lot too. I actually like David Letterman a lot too, which I know
he's amazing. Yeah.
He always had great musical guests on too. Which it's funny to look at these formats of the show now. It's incredible that they're even still shows because like they're so formulaic and like people get this kind of stuff through the internet a lot. So like now it's funny to shit on these shows, but like back then, man, it was really cool when like the band or rapper that you liked was on David Letterman. Like what? Like he always had really cool guys on.
Yeah, there's a band that I've got tattooed on my back that I think played maybe Letterman years ago, and to go back and watch that now is wild. And
is it like Future Islands?
No.
Have you ever seen that performance?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna send that to you. It's the greatest. They do a song called Seasons. It's probably from like 2013 or 14. They went on there and did that, and it's the most incredible performance in Letterman history. What band is it on your back?
Project 86,
Okay.
a metalcore band. Well, technically a Christian metalcore band.
Nice.
They got big with POD because
Okay.
they came up in Orange County, California, in the time of Korn getting big, and they were like, "We definitely need to rap over these riffs, right?" And they didn't need to. And I love them. I still do. They are in the process of like this long extended breakup plan. They were banned for like 30 years.
Damn, that's crazy.
Long time for a band like that.
When Jimmy Fallon took over Conan's job, and that I dug the Conan Jimmy Fallon follow up. And Jimmy Fallon is the reason why I have Twitter, because whatever year that was, like 2009, I guess, 2010, I don't know, something like that. I remember him being like, "Tweet at me." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess I gotta get a Twitter now."
Gage is 7 years old getting a Twitter.
I mean, I guess I was like 14 or somewhere around there. It's funny. My friend, the same guy I was talking about earlier, that loves Cecil B. Demented, he got Twitter because of the MC Hammer show on A&E or whatever. You remember that show? He always talks about that. He's like, the reason I got Twitter was because they were like, see exclusive content on Twitter.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh geez. I will say, I know Letterman was great with bands, and somebody was saying, I think it was Brendan, who he's fixing it here. He said, wait, I meant Fallon. He said Jimmy Kimmel's the worst. No, Jimmy Fallon is by far the worst at the moment. I'm sorry, Gage.
No, I get why people don't like him for sure.
And he's only the worst because the other guy flew back to the UK and quit. But we're not even going to say his name. But I got to give props to Jimmy Kimmel. Genuinely, like, gets a wide variety of musical guests and shines light on like hardcore bands and stuff like that still, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he's the most senior guy doing it now, I guess, right? He's been doing it for like 20 years now.
Especially if you count the Man Show.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, that's crazy as hell to think about.
We talked about this for a long time with Please Don't Destroy on this screen.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all for you, Conan.
Thanks, Conan. You're the best.
Conan, yeah.
Carrying on, with G Kids, they are putting out a Blu-ray of Summer Wars from 2009. This is an anime movie, but we're going to talk about the better release for this that you should get if you love this movie or want this movie. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Another side exclusive, Day the World Ended from 1955, is released again with 450 copies. These both say new 2K scan and then a new interview with Roger Corman. Obviously, those are not new. They did not just interview Roger Corman from Beyond the Grave. And this 2K scan is the same one from a couple years ago.
They say new because whenever this came out in April of 2023 was a few weeks ago. That's why.
Well, that and all they just did is copy and pasted, like they do quite often.
Yeah. That was one of the first like site exclusive ones, I believe. It was like one of their when they started really pushing it like this, and I wanted this one really badly. And I remember there being some kind of, I think what it is that it's in 1851, but it should be in 2001 or whatever. It's like that other weird widescreen that was also out at that time. So it's technically in the incorrect aspect ratio, and there's, I guess, a UK disc that has it in the right aspect ratio, but it doesn't look as good as this one. So there's like no true definitive.
Right.
Yeah.
So the best option is just to glue both discs together and throw them away.
Yeah, probably.
The original release of this was December of 2021, and that is right around when they started every month releasing side exclusives for a little while until everybody started to revolt. Yep. So back in like 2015 and 16, they did a handful of side exclusives, which bring those back. If you're gonna re-release anything, like get the Velvet Vampire back out there. That movie is incredible.
I forgot about that. I remember that being a huge deal. People wanting that disc. That's crazy.
That was one of the first like U.S. boutique Blu-rays that was going for like $100+ on eBay.
Yes, I remember. Holy shit! Is there still never been a re-release of that? Nobody talks about it. They
found a box, and genuinely, it was a box. It was like,
I'm sure
we found 23 copies, and we're putting it up, and that's it.
I'm sure that actually happens. I know people want to talk about that.
It definitely does.
That definitely happens a lot because I do inventory shit for a living, so I know how fucking stupid that is.
I've worked in many a warehouse.
It definitely happens.
Next, Dead Space. This was another side exclusive coming out again, limited to 850. What else to say? We've said the same thing about the last 9 of them.
Yeah, I wanted this one too. I remember when it came out. And I think this one was hung around for a little bit too. I mean, there's no way the movie's as good as the cover art is on.
No, oh God,
sure.
Of course not. Or the video game.
Yeah, or the video game, which I never played, but I remember my cousin rented it from Blockbuster, and we started at like 8 p.m. and I stayed up the whole night and watched him beat the whole game in one sitting.
Nice.
Till like noon the next day. So I've seen it. It's an incredible game, and I know there's like a remaster of it out or something like that. I got to check that.
So Ryan Galland, who was just the guest on here, says he saw Velvet Vampire at the New Bev with a Stephanie Rothman Q&A in 2020, which, my God, that's amazing.
That is awesome.
And then Gatto Demoni wants Velvet Vampire and Time Walker. Yeah, Time Walker was another rare one that was going. That, and then was it Message from Space, I think is another one.
That sounds like a movie for sure.
It sounds like a movie.
Sounds like a movie. That also sounds like a Japanese Eureka sci-fi movie too.
True. Funny enough, I think Eureka also released Message from Space.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds all that's in my brain somewhere. But
I've never seen Dead Space. But if you want to trust Scott, Scott says the movie is terrible.
That's okay. I like terrible movies. So
next up, another side exclusive, Flesh Eaters from 1964, limited to 850, coming back. Nothing new on it. All these discs are identical to the ones they did previously. Here it is.
That's cool too. I remember when that one came out, and this one.
Twice Dead from 1988, coming back out, 900 copies. This is wild. They released like 7 things that were previously out of print that were going for good money. It's crazy.
And I'm not joking, like 24 hours after you said they're not doing these anymore.
Yep.
Boom.
Not only are we not doing them, we're going to devalue everyone else's.
That's good though. I hope they do this. I hope every year they do this. This is cool.
Just release them all.
Yeah.
Speaking of limited, let's go to Lionsgate Limited. On March 4th, they are releasing their next steelbook, which is a 4K double pack of Den of Thieves and Den of Thieves 2, which I jokingly said a couple weeks ago when we talked about Den of Thieves. I never heard that was a movie. And here we are getting a double pack with both of these coming in 4K. It's a fun-looking steelbook.
I didn't know there was a 2. Isn't this the 50 Cent movie?
O'Shea Jackson Jr. I don't know if it's 50 Cent.
I thought he produced it. But I could be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. I feel like he produced one of these. He started doing some action movies like this, but I could be wrong. But I didn't know there was a Den of Thieves too.
It literally just premiered in theaters like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That's very, very recently released.
Oh, that's very, very new then. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It is literally a 2025 film.
Oh, okay, I can see that now. I wasn't looking at that.
You're fine. So Den of Thieves is going to be in 4K for the first time. This never had a 4K release. This will also have all kinds of bonus features with an alternate ending, a bunch of featurettes, theatrical version, commentary with the director, and some trailers. And then part 2 will have some commentary and some featurettes, including deleted scenes and how they plotted the film. And I've never seen either one. Again, I had never heard about it.
Well, if 50 Cent's in it, which I don't know if Subaquatic Encounters of the Dub Kind is saying that he's in part 1 if he's talking about 50 Cent, but that makes me want to
probably
because I love 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Trying was the first CD I bought with like my own money. It was like, Mom, take me to the store to buy this CD. It was Get Rich or Die Trying. Absolute classic.
Amazing. Summer Wars, like I said, just mentioned it a moment ago. This is the one to get if you want them. It is a exclusive on Amazon 4K Steelbook, also coming on April 1st. You can pre-order this now. This supposedly is a beautiful movie in 4K. I hope people that like this check it out. I've never seen Summer Wars, still only seen a few anime. I really need to expand that this year. Hoping to show my kids the rest of the Ghibli stuff here soon.
Yeah, I know Craig and I have talked in the group chat or Discord about those have to be coming to 4K soon.
I would imagine so.
They have to be, right? They have to be. We've been saying they have to be for like 6 years now, so I don't know. But I believe it was on last week's episode that I was just listening to today where you and Ryan were talking about some discotheque stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff sounded. I also am not a big anime guy, not because I don't like it, but just because my bizarre obsession with extremely deep lore stuff is with wrestling. Like I feel
Right.
like there's these different groups that people do in anime and wrestling are both kind of the same thing, and like all of my my whole childhood was that. So
Yep.
I didn't grow up watching a lot of anime stuff, and I've seen Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro, but I'm still missing like almost everything else. So
Yeah.
I definitely need to catch up on the discotheque stuff. I'm super interested in, like those, like where they'll have like full series from 1979 of 10 episodes of this crazy
I've
anime.
never before seen. We had
Yeah.
to toil for 27 months to get this restoration out.
Yeah, and they'll be like these are brand new 4K scans from whatever, except for one episode only exist on video. So it seems like they do
this gentleman's basement in South Korea.
I think that tentacle porn stuff you're talking about. They're like, oh, we boosted the brightness on it so you can see it. I'm like, okay, I gotta check this. I gotta check out some of their stuff for sure.
I definitely need all my tentacle porn with boosted brightness.
Yeah, I gotta be able to see it, on OLED. Yeah.
Next up, getting away from Shout and everything finally, Dazzler Media over in the UK on May 12th releasing a Blu-ray of The Serpent Queen seasons 1 and 2, which I looked up, supposedly is great. The trailer for this looks pretty interesting. Looks like something that a lot of people would like. I'd never heard of this. It says The Serpent Queen tells the story of Catherine de Medici, also played by Samantha Morton, who against all odds became one of the most powerful and longest serving rulers in French history. Anybody in the chat seen this? I'd love to hear about it.
No, I'd never even heard of this. This is
Nope.
yeah.
There's
British
so much in the
television
UK.
series?
Yeah, so much from the UK that just is never seen until suddenly it's here.
I impressed my girlfriend too. One of the pop culture Jeopardy answers was Downton Abbey, and she's like, "Why the fuck do you know that?" And I was like, "I totally just guessed. I don't know." Yeah, no, I definitely would like to check that. My girlfriend loves like any kind of historical romance stuff or anything like that, so she would probably dig on anything like this. So
looks good.
Once we get that OLED out in the oh my god. I couldn't believe I thought it was a joke the first time. Bro, we saw the trailer for this when we went to go see Nosferatu, and I took which I have an amazing story about Nosferatu whenever we get a moment. But
we got a moment.
Okay, we saw the trailer for that, and like we were all looking at each other like this. The whole idea for this movie is like, oh man, what if we make him bald? Wouldn't that get people? That would be buzzy worthy, Yeah, that's funny. But I'm sorry, you got a moment for Nosferatu?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. It's very funny. It was a Christmas day. I took my dad, who basically introduced me to film and silent movies and horror movies, everything. I've taken him to go see a whole bunch of stuff in theaters throughout the years. So I took him and my friend Carl, who has been helping me with my roof and everything, putting the tarps up and taking the tarps down and putting them up over the past few months. And I took my girlfriend on Christmas Day to go see it. And there's about 12 other people of my friends that we had like 2 whole rows at the theater to go see this. And this is not necessarily a spoiler alert, but it kind of is. So if you don't want anything spoiled for you for Nosferatu, there's a jump scare in the first minute of the movie.
Yep.
My girlfriend,
it's a good one.
It's a great one, yeah. My girlfriend does not like scary movies. And I told her, I was like, this is definitely going to be a horror movie, but, it's probably going to be a little weird. It's probably going to be more of like a weird gothic, spooky thriller kind of thing. I don't know if it's going to be like a horror movie. Like, there's probably jump scares, but I don't know. Probably not too bad. That jump scare that happens at the very beginning of the movie, at 55 seconds, and we've just been in the theater for 20 minutes, she fucking throws her extra large popcorn in the air and bobbles it for like what feels like an eternity, but probably like 3 or 4 seconds, and is just spilling her popcorn that I bought for her everywhere. And I'm like, it's okay, babe, but I can't believe you just did that. That's insane. And I like
1 minute into it.
Yeah, there's just like popcorn. We have the recliners up, so it's like all over our legs on the recliners and everything. And I'm just like, oh my god! But I couldn't believe that she did that. So the movie is very scary.
There's like not many jump scares. There's like 4,
but they're all good.
Maybe they're all earned too.
Yes. Especially that one at the beginning.
All right. Speaking of jump scares, Mark Wahlberg starring in Flight Risk. This is the Amazon exclusive 4K steelbook from Lionsgate for Flight Risk. And yes, the whole joke of the slipcover is that when you take off the transparent sleeve, you're taking off Mark Wahlberg's hat to reveal his balding head below. Good God, man.
And then the other side of the steelbook looks like
no, it's not a great steelbook.
No. The other side of it looks like Harry Potter for adults or something. This is such a weird movie. I mean, the idea of I love movies that like take place like all in like a condensed setting, like a train or a plane or something like that. But yeah, it seems like this one's just kind of coming and going.
This is a weird movie. I mean, we got Mark Wahlberg, who's got his history of controversy, directed by Mel Gibson.
If I was on that plane, this is
we're going down.
This is directed by Mel Gibson.
Yes.
No way! I can't believe I missed that. Holy shit! The 2025 Joseph Goebbels, Mel Gibson. That's sick.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Damn, I have to cop this now. It's going to be mandatory for everybody to own this movie. Any Sylvester Stallone or John Voight movie is going to be mandatory viewing now.
Oh, man. I can't wait to read the new Constitution. Speaking of new Constitution, Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 is coming on Blu-ray and DVD on May 27th in the U.S. This got announced previously, but then it was delayed. This will have a handful of special featurettes, and that's it. There's also going to be a collectible set of prints by the photographer Emerson Miller. Very dad-coded story, obviously.
I've still yet to watch this. Not watching anything. I still have not seen Yellowstone, but I know a lot of people that watch it, and I hear it's good. This is a good cover art. I dig this.
It's not bad, yeah.
And I like the Paramount Network logo over in the corner, actually, too. It's a nice, tasteful logo.
It is kind of classy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The classic
All right.
P.
The Demoness is coming on Blu-ray from Welgo USA on May 27th. This one says, an erotic island retreat plays host to an exclusive couples retreat designed to rekindle the flames of passion. When Stacy and her boyfriend arrive, the sexy fun is quickly interrupted by a malevolent entity that feeds on their pain. We got a trailer up on this one, and yeah, it looks about as cheap as you can imagine.
Okay. Interesting. This is great poster art, by the way.
It's not bad. Yeah,
I like this a lot, actually. So it's funny because it's like island stuff is huge right now. Everything's like, have you seen Deal or No Deal Island? And I saw it's back for a second season. I was like, okay.
Same show, but let's go to Fiji. Okay.
Shit.
Again, and I know I said this like 3 or 4 months ago, so happy to see that Welgo USA just randomly able to put out movies like this. They did a lot of great releases in 2024. If you've never really dove into Welgo at all, you probably should. They've got some great titles. They've got some good 4Ks that they've done. It's a good company, and most of it's usually pretty cheap.
Yeah, and they used to be always have good prices at Best Buy too. RIP to being able to buy their stuff at Best Buy.
Holy hell. Sibner, is this real? Sibner just sent me, he said the other art for this title, and I don't know if this is accurate, but this is too good to not share. So let me see if this will work. I'm going to try to, I'm going to have to share another screen, but that's okay. Let me bring this down. This is so bad. If this is genuinely what this looks like, I don't even know what to feel about this movie anymore. Here is the other poster.
What? No way. This is the same movie. This got to be two different movies.
Are those the same act? That is wild.
Is it the same ones? Go back to the other one and see the name of the director.
Stars Angelina Pakmakova?
Austin St. John. I guess so. I mean, if both of these are in the same movie, hell yeah.
Victor this Mikhailov, looks like Anton Rival.
This kind of looks like a Massacre video Facebook post.
Good shout. Yeah. That would be accurate. All right. Let me get back with the Instagram. Here we go. All right. Going to our next title. Moana 2 is coming from Disney on March 18th. This is, unfortunately, this is continuing their pattern of releasing a 4K disc only in the Steelbook, which, as we've seen from their last couple Steelbooks, will probably start at like $45 or $55.
Have they sold out? Do these like sell out and like not become not available? Or are they usually always available?
Inside Out 2 sold out. I don't think Deadpool and Wolverine has sold out yet. In fact, that one finally came down to, I think it was like $38 on eBay. And then if you use one of their discounts, you can get like 20% off. So you can actually get it under the old going rate of $35 finally.
So can you just like not get Inside Out 2 for a good price right now?
No, it's all secondhand or the UK release. And that's the only way to get a 4K disc.
Damn, I might have to get this then because I love Moana and my girlfriend loves it too, and we missed this in theaters, so it might come. I might have some more theatrical play if it gets nominated for Best Picture and everything, which that already got announced, so it might be back in theaters right now. So maybe I'll get a chance to see it.
I will say it's obviously not as good as the first one. The first one is great.
It's hard to live up to that,
especially when it was meant to be a Disney Plus series, but. This is, I mean, it's a good looking Steelbook. And for those of you that have the original Moana Steelbook from Best Buy, this matches that very well.
For one of our my birthdays during the start of our relationship, my girlfriend actually bought me a like Korean Steelbook of Frozen 2 because I had the Steelbook of Frozen and I'd never seen it and I owned it, but we were dating and I still hadn't watched it. And she bought me a Frozen 2 Steelbook from like Korea or something because she knew that the other one was a Steelbook. I don't even really collect Steelbooks like that. So now I got the matching Steelbooks.
Want to highlight, Colton said that was definitely a different movie. The Demoness was called Succubus and retitled to the Demoness later. So that poster was not for the same film.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. It was still fun to laugh at.
I'll watch both of them now.
Oh, and by the way, before I go, like all kinds of bonus features going to be on Moana 2, of course. There's the full-length sing-along where they show the words during all the songs. Something that's really cool of this, they're doing a celebration of Pacific wayfinding. Some of the Moana 2 filmmakers meet real-life navigators that go over the Polynesian Voyaging Society, like how they go over wayfinding and all that. That's actually a really cool featurette.
Yeah, that's cool. That's the kind of stuff we need on. That's sick. It's also terrifying too.
Oh yeah, absolutely terrifying.
I'm sorry, real quick before you move on, because I wanted to, and it may be further on here, but I see you post that there's a Renfield Steelbook coming out too.
That's what we're going to talk about just a moment.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And that's when we're going to talk about the original Dracula too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Moving to our next one, John Wayne in Sands of Iwo Jima, coming on 4K and Blu-ray from Kino on April 15th. You got a new audio commentary with Steve Mitchell and Stephen J. Rubin, who is the author of combat films American Realism. You've got some other small featurettes on the Blu-ray disc, but glad this is coming out for anybody that loves John Wayne. As per usual, I do not. Happy for you, though.
I know years ago I told Ryan about my John Wayne AI movie that I want, a deep fake movie. Now that's probably a realistic possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Make that for like probably $400 probably. It's very cheap. But these are cool because there's a couple of these, right? John Wayne, 4Ks that got announced. Do you know if these are released through Indicator on Blu-ray?
I don't think they are.
Okay. And then that was kind of my next thing, was that like my future Kino 4K buying, because like I know they've kind of started slipping on their quality of their 4Ks, so I've slowed down a lot. And now that like the 12 of them that they lost the license to, that's like pretty sure Criterion's about to release all of those. I'm like contemplating what I'm going to be buying from Kino, because like I bought the Marathon Man 4K and I'm like, I could see Arrow doing this now. I So I'm like, I was like, I'm gonna probably kind of wait on a lot of these now because I could see like Indicator doing this possibly if it's easy for him.
There is no UK release of this film on Blu-ray at all.
Okay, at all. Wow. Okay. Well, then maybe I'll buy it. I don't know. I like horror movies, so, and I do see it has Dolby Vision, which is good. So
yeah, very interesting that they have it on this and not some of the obvious ones.
That like In the Heat of the Night's SDR.
Yeah. All right, next one. There is a follow-up documentary to Nintendo Quest that came out, I think it was last year, through Enjoy the Ride Records. This is Nintendo 64 Quest. You can get it on a 3-disc Blu-ray set, a 2-disc Blu-ray set, or a 2-disc DVD set. This is going to have over 5 hours of bonus features. 5 hours of 14 episodes. And then the 3-disc set has a bunch of bonus features with uncut interviews, extended scenes, and more insightful commentary on this era, and then tons of game bios and more. If you're into this sort of thing, this looks like a really great pairing with Nintendo Quest, especially if you're into this era of video games, which, to be honest, does not get a lot of love. I know Nintendo 64 stuff gets overlooked quite often.
Yeah, no, this is definitely cool. I feel like if you're in it. Oh, I saw this, Craig. Yes, I like something I didn't share in here was like the Great Escape 4K the era did.
Yeah, like and it comes with the sequel.
It comes with the sequel in 4K, and it's a badass packaging. And I've seen the comparisons of the two, and that looks phenomenal. And then they also did the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the Sutherland one with
Silence of the Lambs,
and they fixed both of those because I know Silence of the Lambs had the first reel messed up, and then I think the Invasion of the Body Snatchers had like some weird.
I think it had some audio buzz or something.
Or I thought it was like the Dolby Vision would flicker on and off.
That might be
something like that. Yeah. So I know that there's issues like that. So now I'm like, shit. Like all of them are going to come out through a better edition now. It's like
quite possible.
Yeah, I might just wait on them. But yeah, the Nintendo 64 stuff. I mean, that's like my first console ever was technically the first thing I ever got was my neighbor gave us an NES and a Sega Genesis 3. But those were just at the house. But like the first thing I got was a PlayStation. So I was the slim version of the PlayStation. And all my friends had Nintendo 64. So like when I wanted to play WWF No Mercy, I had to go over to their house to play it.
Right.
Yeah, so I love the 64. So, and I never had one, but I have one now. I bought my girlfriend a Fantastic Grape, which I think is the color, the see-through purple.
Nice.
I bought her that for Christmas a couple years ago.
The 64 had some great games, but I never could get into that controller.
No, and a lot of my favorite games from that era are actually better on the PlayStation, like the Tony Hawk games, for example.
That is true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Next up, the next John Wayne 4K. This is Donovan's Reef from 1963, coming on 4K and Blu-ray on April 15th. This will have a new audio commentary by Joseph McBride, who is the author of Searching for John Ford. Also has another commentary, brand new, by Dwayne Epstein, the author of Lee Marvin, Point Blank. On the Blu-ray disc, you've got a short film from 1957 directed by John Ford as well. But that is it for this title, which... never seen this one. Primarily because of John Wayne.
This Dwayne Epstein guy, you used to hang out with the Epstein fella, didn't you? Out on Donovan's Reef. Y'all used to go to Donovan's Reef once every summer.
That was pretty funny. Good job. I'm not on the list.
Okay.
Our president.
Real quick, is this like almost all of them from the past. Whatever, probably are. But is this one? Yes, Dolby Vision as well. So we're getting Dolby Vision on both of these. That's good to see.
And this one has also never been released in the UK on Blu-ray.
Okay, there you go.
Which
so maybe we do see these from Indicator.
Surprising. Quite possible. I would not be surprised whatsoever. This feels like an Indicator film, to be honest.
Yes, it does.
This looks like a Popeye prequel. It sure does.
He looks like he's doing the whip, nay.
Or he just punched your grandmother. Hey, that Renfield Steelbook. This is that one. This is coming on April 1st with a Walmart exclusive 4K Steelbook. These are the same discs as is going to be in the other set. But this is playing homage to one of the old classic Dracula posters, as you can see with the font there, which I actually really like the style of this Steelbook. I just wish I cared more about steelbooks or buying from Walmart.
I thought this was a Seinfeld steelbook the first time I saw
that. With the Dracula font for no reason. It's just a picture of Cosmo Kramer.
Yeah.
He's like, don't make me say it again.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I do want that. I do want that 4K set of Seinfeld though. That's got
it looks good.
Yeah, I got
it looks great. It's got great reviews.
But yeah, I'm not a big steelbook guy. It's not that I dislike them. I just never really cared for them over the regular cases. But this one, I like the look of this. I love the colors on it. Yeah,
the colors are great, and obviously that font is classic for a reason.
Yeah, that's really fire. I like that.
All right. Next up, TerrorVision announced their brand new January slate. Man, some of these we've been working on for so long. I'm so glad that these are coming out. These are all releasing in March. They should be shipping by then. If you have any questions on these, let me know. Happy to answer. This first one is the newest Graveface Films title. It is Gushing Prayer from 1971. This is a Pinko Iga film, or Pinko Iga, sorry, is the proper way to say that. This is a very, very famous movie, one of the more well-known Pinku films. It's about a high school student, and it is shot beautifully. This has a 2K restoration from the OCN, and in this, we got a booklet with new writing by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, the one and only Michelle Kisner, and my buddy Sam Cohen. We got a visual essay called Pink Wave, The Revolutionary Beginnings of Pinku by Ren Scatini. We had a visual essay, Beyond Exploitation, Post-World War II Political Influences on Pink Films by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, who clearly never sleeps. And then we've got one more visual essay called Sex is Useless by Clayton and Brad Dillard of Someone's Favorite Productions. We also got brand new subs on this. This is a hell of a release. I hope people check this out.
So my girlfriend definitely, if she does check out this video, she will not make it an hour and 47 minutes into it. So I can say in here that I have made some purchasing today, and this was one of them. So
nice.
Yeah, this cover art is amazing. All of these Graveface, if I was running a Blu-ray label, this is what my covers would look like, is what they're doing. This is every single one of them has been awesome so far. And is it who does the cover arts for all of them? Isn't it the same person?
It is Chloe. This is Ryan Graveface's wife, Chloe.
It's his wife. Yes. She kicks ass with these. These are beautiful covers. They look, and I finally saw one in person for the first time the other day. My friend went to Savannah, not TerrorVision. He went to Savannah to propose to his girlfriend, and when he was there, went to the TerrorVision store and actually bought me a TerrorVision logo T-shirt.
Nice.
He got me Into the Line and Game of Killers to take some photos for him for his engagement photos or whatever.
Sweet.
So, yeah, he got me all that, and he got River, I believe.
Beautiful movie. And that's my favorite art from any of the Graveface titles so far.
Yeah, so I got to actually hold it and look at it and everything, and I was like, this looks incredible, man. So this one, I bought this one and their 4K that they announced today.
Ryan Gallen says, I subscribe to TerrorVision. Not sure if I get this. You can get this, but if you don't do anything, you will not get this. You can opt in to get this. You just got to go to the wholesale portal and choose that you want this for the sub, or if you email in, they will take care of it and you will get it for sure. It's a solid release. You will definitely like this if you go pick it up.
And this is the third movie in this line, right?
In this line, man, I'm working on number 5 or 6 right now.
Bet. And this is the first, I believe it is, and I think this is the first older feature.
Yes.
Older than 5 years old. No, that's a lie. There's one from 2013 or something.
I Love You, Tony Phillips. So this will be the 4th one. So we did River Dawning. I Love You, Tony Phillips has not shipped yet. and then this will be the fourth one.
Okay, so I mean, I'd still technically count the 2013 as a newer movie. So
it is definitely a newer movie.
Yeah, as far as like selling Blu-rays goes, like that 2000 cutoff, like if it's before 2000,
even then, their first year from the last 15 years, and then this one is 1971.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly older.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this, but I pre-ordered this one today.
Yeah, this one's great. People check it out. Next up. Man, this is such a fun announcement. We are doing a Blu-ray of Enter the Panther from 1976. You may have seen this under a couple other titles. This has played elsewhere in a different way, but this stars the one and only Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee, however you've seen people refer to him. Not that Bruce Lee, it's Bruce Lee. Because this is essentially the first Bruceploitation title, which is incredible. This is from all the way back in 1976, while Bruce Lee was still alive. We were getting Bruceploitation, and this one is going to be an interesting release because it is essentially a preservation print. This is the only way it's going to be in HD, and it also has the VHS cut of this, which is 14 minutes longer. This has brand new subtitles, also has a booklet with, check out this lineup. Sean Williams from Food for Thought, Fanatical Dragon, who also works with Sean Williams on their podcast together, which if you've never listened to it, you absolutely got to go check that out. And then Rob Hunter also writes on this. And then I went and got the man, Frank Jang, to do a commentary for this release.
Go.
First time he's ever worked with TerraVision. I tried to get like a panel of rock stars on this title, and it's so fun. I will say the note here is important for a lot of people that don't love, old battered grindhouse looking films. This print came from Spain, and it does have burned in Spanish subtitles at the bottom. And this is like we were talking about earlier with those French subtitles. Unfortunately, you can see them. They are clearly visible, covering part of the picture, all burned in, but otherwise, we would never get this film released at all in HD. And so this is the way to get it. Glad we're getting this. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and this artwork is incredible on it too. I feel like it's going to be, some people are probably going to not like it. I think it's beautiful. I love, to me, this looks of the era, and it looks eye-catching. You know, I think that, and the way that they had all of them set up, this TerraVision's doing it right. I think they've figured out a groove that they're in now with releasing stuff. I think they're doing it I think they've got it down pretty much well now, and I like what they're doing. And this is really cool too, because people that bought that Clones of Bruce box set, you're gonna have to get this now to be completionist, because we know that at least volume 2 is on the way with the Clones of Bruce. It is on the way, yeah. And I do need to I need to order that first one, because I know it has the web store exclusive disc, which I'm not, knock on wood, a lot of the Severin stuff doesn't actually sell out or anything quickly or anything like that, but I do want to get that before it, just in case that ever does disappear with the 2 extra movies on it. And you and I are the same way. I know that we like the looks of these films. Remember Brad talking about that with the Game of Killers and the old Kung Fu Master, with the look of these movies. I don't mind, if this is all that there is, that's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just what exists, It's yeah. We're literally at the point where if you want to see this film, this is the only way to ever see it in HD. And especially, it works more with stuff like this too. You know what I mean? Yep. This is the kind of movie where it's even more okay. So the idea that it only exists with Spanish subtitles on it's kind of cool. And it adds to it. It is a bit of like they literally say it's a grindhouse type of release. Yeah. It's really very cool. I will definitely be getting this as well. I'm supposed to be going to Savannah February, nice. one of the late weekends of February, and if I'm up there, I plan on taking a couple $100 with me just to spend it on discs up at the TerraVision store. The one that I'm most excited about this month, because I adore this movie, is Suddenly in the Dark. This is coming in a deluxe 4K release from TerraVision. This is a movie from 1981, coming in 4K. This was released on Blu-ray by Mondo Macabro,
and they had a solid release. It was signed over to TerraVision, and we've got all of the same extras for Mondo, so you're not going to be missing anything. What is crazy cool, we were also able to get the essays that were in the Mondo booklet included in this booklet.
That is cool.
So we're preserving those as well, and we got a bunch of new writing. So this release, it has a perfect bound booklet. This is a crazy list. Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, Amber T, Heather Drain, Pierce Conran, Paul Lay, Grady Hendricks, and Christopher Koenig, all writing on this film. We got a commentary from Ariel Shudson, visual essay by Clayton Dillard from Someone's Favorite Productions again, interview with the producer on this, interview with critic Kim Bong-suk on the history of Korean horror films, and then this is going to come with a 4x6 postcard, an 11x17 poster in one of the hard boxes. There will be a standard. TerraVision says there will always be a standard no matter what. That will come out with just a regular slipcover later, so you don't need to worry about that. And the biggest thing to say, this movie is amazing. This is a truly like psychedelic, incredible piece of not quite sexploitation, but like genuinely pushing the boundaries of some things. If you've never seen it, this is a beautiful movie. I think the art here really grasps what type of film this is, because it's kind of like modern folk horror, because it focuses on like shamanism a little bit. Genuinely great. Can't wait for people to see this if you've never seen it. It's one of their best titles that Mondo ever released, and I feel like it went under the radar because the art didn't really show what the film could be, and I think we nailed it with this, thankfully. Mm-hmm. It's a gorgeous movie, and the 4K with the HDR is going to pop because the colors in this are beautiful.
Absolutely. I like the artwork way more than I like the Mondo artwork. It's almost like the Air 4444, where they have one side that's like a modern artwork, which was like the Mondo one, and then this has like kind of like a blend of like original like 80s, which this is 70s, right? And then
this is 80.
Okay. Yeah, this has that kind of original like 80s like Asian style poster art, but it still kind of is modern in a way. Like so I really dug this, and I think I made it a goal that I'm definitely going to be getting any of the TerraVision Deluxe 4K sets so far. So I got Rumpelstiltskin. I missed the Radioactive Reporter, Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter. I got this today. So I was browsing Orbit and I saw that they actually do have the Radioactive Reporter still.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you want it, it's on there. So I pre-ordered it through there. So I'm not missing any of the 3 new style box slipcovers, which is a genius idea to do it like this, because then, if you do miss it, people that want the slip will still feel like they can buy it.
Exactly. Yeah. Stan is asking what's the price point. We're going to cover all those in just a moment. Promise.
Very good, I will say.
It is shockingly good.
Yeah, like the Graveface, the Graveface title was $24.99. I know that, and I think this is like $32 or something.
We'll break all those down after we cover this last one, which is Dance or Die. This is from 1987, and this is one of the City Lights films. If you are not familiar with City Lights home video, these are wild, like really fun movies you watch and you're like, I don't know what I'm watching, but I kind of want to live in this world, and it's incredible.
Dude, yes.
This is their next deluxe edition. Will also include the CD soundtrack, a 4x6 postcard, and 11x17 poster. The booklet writing on this, we've got Yasmina Ketita, Heather Drain, and then if you've ever listened to him, he's been on the show before, Rich Johnson from over in the UK. I got him to write on this, and what's so funny is I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I want to hire you for something. What type of stuff do you want? And he's like, oh man, I don't know, I'm pretty busy. I said, well, I got this title. Look at the trailer for this. And I said, it's Dance or Die. And not 2 minutes later, he was like, I have to write about this. You gotta check this out. This movie is incredible. This release is going to have a commentary with Richard Munchkin, moderated by Michael Keane, incredible friend, YouTuber, does great.
No way, let's go.
Yes, sir. It's the first commentary he's been in. I know all of these.
Talked about doing them forever. He's talked about wanting to do them for a long time, so that's awesome.
There are 4 new interviews on here, one of them with Richard Munchkin, and Keane did all of these interviews, I believe. He filmed 3 of them at least, and then I think the last one with John Gonzalez is audio only. And then this has the CD soundtrack, and then brand new subs for this. Incredible release. Check this out if you've never heard of it. It is this is like one of the most bonkers titles TerraVision's ever released. It is a hell of a lot of fun.
That's so cool. I'm so happy for Michael. That's because these guys are in Vegas now. A lot of the City Lights guys, right? Yeah. So that is like a dream come true for him. That's so fucking cool. I will definitely have to get this, and I got to get the Newly Dead still too, because I bought Hollowgate because I don't know if everybody in here has seen the slipcover for Hollowgate. It's
so
possibly the greatest slipcover art of all time. It's like
pretty great. Perfectly
encapsulates the 90s Halloween vibes.
Yep.
And I watched the movie, which is a pretty interesting story. I watched the movie this Halloween on like a fucking Wednesday night, and I started it at like 12:30, which is pretty late for me to be starting a movie. It's hard for me to stay awake if I start one after midnight. But I actually watched it out in the living room because it's shot on film, right? A lot of these City Lights, but they were edited on tape, so they only exist as tape masters. And there is, I'm not trying to talk shit about TerraVision because I'm sure this is all what it is, but there's like a very thick white line on the side of the screen for that for that release, and I was scared to watch it on my OLED because I was like, I'm paranoid about burning. So I went and watched it on the LED out in the living room. And so it was a unique setting for me to be watching a movie, not in my movie room.
Right.
I watched it out there, and it was like very late at night, and it was on like a Wednesday, like before Halloween. And about like 3/4 of the way through the movie, I had to stop and like go outside to go like flip some laundry around. It's outside for me. I have to walk through my front yard to the side to get there. And I walk outside, and there's like, I'm not joking, there's like 7 cop cars driving around, shining their lights up into the driveway. And they're shining at me in my eyes, and I'm like walking up, and all the cops have their windows rolled down, and like it's like they didn't see me. I was like, hey. I was like, what's going on out here? And they just kept riding by me, and I went inside, and I was kind of watching them. They were just kind of riding around, and I went back in there and finished the movie. But the movie is insane, but that moment heightened the weirdness for that movie. Have you seen Hollowgate?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I think I'll probably watch that every Halloween now.
I have not seen all of the City Lights titles yet, but the ones that I've seen, most people would find something to like in every single one. Like, I can't wait for people to see some of the ones that are coming still.
That's good. And is there a lot of horror through them?
No, most of them are like action coded.
Right? Yeah, that's what I think I remember them saying. Is there's not too many.
It's low budget fun action.
That's cool too. I like that.
So some details. Gushing Prayer right now, $24.99. Enter the Panther, $22.99. Suddenly in the Dark 4K Deluxe Edition is $38 even. Dance or Die Deluxe is $32 even. Both of those will get standards with the slip later. So the big thing, all of the pricing right now, this is introductory pricing. A week after they went on sale, which I believe was Wednesday, I think is when the announcements were. Yes, because that says 1 day ago. So a week later, these will go up in price. TerraVision is not planning on having any more site-wide sales. So the way they're going to do sales is we're going to introduce a low price, and if you don't get in that first week and get it when it first comes out, it'll be a high price later. So not trying to institute FOMO, but to save money. If you like these, get it. The other thing, not to say, hey, I help TerraVision, so you should be pouring your money into these guys. But the big thing here, Dance or Die is $32, and Suddenly in the Dark is $38. If you were a subscriber, you are getting those automatically as part of your subscription, which even if you buy in at 10 titles, it's $225 and you get a t-shirt. And so you're getting the $38 brand new 4K deluxe set for what, $22 and getting a free t-shirt?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
They have a great subscription for sure.
Super worth it. Not just because I work with them, but honestly, I think it's the best value subscription, especially because they do it so like DIY punk. If you don't want one of the titles, you can just message and say, hey, don't have that be a part of my subscription and skip it. That's crazy.
And every title you get a creep coin. And if you have, I think it's something ridiculously low too. It's like 15 creep coins you can get a movie, or maybe 20.
something like that. And
Yeah.
I think the Blu-ray is only like 15 or 18, then the 4K is just a couple more.
Yeah. So I mean, like you can, if you're getting them through the subscription and then you get that, it's like you get another movie on top of it. So
it's a bonus.
Yeah, so that's definitely worth it. And then I will also say, a lot of people I know probably are not close to Savannah as I am. I'm like 2 hours away. That if you go to Savannah, you can get some pretty good deals. Like in their shop, they actually have even better prices.
Yep. Yes, Madhouse, Orbit, and Diabolic, and Brother Belial, and Atomic Movie Store. I believe all of them should be getting these. Suddenly in the Dark should be available at all of them, and most of them should have them up for pre-order now or very soon at least. They're all a part of the wholesale program, so yes, you should be able to get those anywhere. Gato Demoni's wearing the TerrorVision Record Club shirt right now. Very nice.
Oh, yeah. And I said it again, that Orbit I know does have the Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter right now, which I don't know if anybody else does because I know it's sold out on TerrorVision's website.
I think Brother Belial might still have it.
Okay. I'll have to check them too.
The other thing, it's not really an announcement, but the standard edition for Frogman and Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter, those are on the site now. Frogman is $22.99. Revenge is $29.99. Still comes with the like multiple discs on Revenge. Also comes with the slipcover on both of them. So if you want them, grab them. It's a great deal. I know a lot of people were asking about when those were coming.
Hell yeah.
Next up, now that we spent 45 minutes on TerrorVision, The Cruel Sea is coming from Kino Lorber on April 22nd on Blu-ray. This is a 1953 British war film. We got an audio commentary on this one by Simon Abrams. Then there's an interview with the star Sir Donald Sinden featured on the disc. I've never seen this movie, but this seems like a very Gage movie.
I've never even heard of it, but Celeste is here. What's up? I'm going to crack open a third beer just for Celeste now.
Enjoy.
But yeah, I've never heard of this movie, but I dig it. 50s.
British.
I like 50s movies. I like sea movies too. So I would check this out for sure.
All right. Let's go to Liza Minnelli. April 1st, Kino's releasing Liza, a truly terrific, absolutely true story. Brand new from 2025. This is a film by Bruce David Klein. We have an audio commentary by the writer-director. The producer, co-editor is also in there, and the co-producer as well. There's outtakes from interviews. There's a Q&A with Bruce David Klein, moderated by Jim Caruso. And this is a star-studded tribute that brings into focus the dazzling, complex period of Liza Minnelli's life, starting in the 70s, just after the death of her mom, the one and only Judy Garland.
I would like to see this too.
Yeah.
It's cool that Kino's been putting out a lot of these cool docs like this about people from that era, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, this is really cool. It was cool to see her at the Oscars a few years ago too.
Yeah.
Where she came out, and it was really cool to like see that they let her go up there and do that. It was really cool. Yeah. And also, just to call back to earlier, I forgot to mention that isn't Conan hosting the Oscars this year?
He sure is.
That's even more. Okay, I have to watch it now.
They're going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Stan's saying he saw Liza in concert way back in the 80s, and she was fabulous.
That's sick.
Amazing. Next up, In a Year of 13 Moons is coming on Blu-ray on March 24th over in the UK from Studio Canal. It's part of their Vintage World Cinema line. And the big deal is this is a film by Rainer Werner Fassbinder that has never been released in HD. Yep. And many people think that this is their best film. This says, made in response to the suicide of Fassbinder's lover, Armin Meyer. In a Year of 13 Moons is a story of unrequited love, a tortured past, and a heart-wrenching search for acceptance. The film traces the final days in the life of Elvira, a transgender woman spurned by her former lover, as she reaches out desperately for understanding. Fassbinder crafts both a searing statement on the universal need for love and an elegant exploration of grief in what is arguably his most personal film. This is a brand new 4K restoration. There's a conversation between Juliette Jacques and Alex Davidson on this. Then some old archival features, Werner Schroeder on Fassbinder's film In a Year of 13 Moons. And then Julianne Lorenz on Fassbinder's film as well. There's also an intro by Richard Linklater.
Wow.
This is a must-buy for me.
100%. I just took a photo of us talking about this. I'm sending it to my friend when I worked at a grocery store. Worked at a grocery store from 2015 to 2019, and basically it was like a farmer's market style grocery store, and almost everybody that worked there was from a different country. And there was a guy there that I worked with. He was from Germany, but all of his family, they're all Bosnian, but they lived in Germany before they moved to Jacksonville. And when he found out I was a movie guy, and so at this point I was probably like 21 or 22, and he was probably like 19. He comes up to me to like introduce himself to me. His name's Elvira. He's one of my best friends from working there. I still see him every once in a while. He's like, "Yo, I heard you talking about movies the other day. Have you ever heard of a movie called In a Year of 13 Moons? It's like this old German movie." And at this point, I mean, I should have known it because I knew but because it was just not in the Criterion zeitgeist,
right.
It hadn't been released here in the United States. I was like, no, I don't know what that is. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, I know Fassbender. I know like a lot of this guy's movies, but I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my mom's favorite movie. He's like, you have to watch it. It's so fucking good. And I'm like, oh man, I'll have to check it out. But I've been telling him for years. I'm like, yeah, there's not really been a good way to watch it. And I think there was a UK Blu-ray of it, or maybe like a German or French Blu-ray. I don't know. I think there is it might be like a bootleg-ish kind of release. I remember seeing
there was a German Blu-ray in 2019 that was probably a bootleg.
Yeah, that was probably. I remember that came out, and I showed it to him, and I was like, "Hey, it's finally coming out," or something like that.
Maybe not, because it was put out by Studio Canal, so it wasn't a bootleg.
Okay. So yeah. So now that this is a thing, I'm definitely gonna have to buy this because I got to check it out for him because that's so awesome that he put me onto this.
Full circle, man. That's great.
I know. So I'm gonna send him that text message later tonight when we get off the phone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Man, this is so exciting. So March 21st, Mercury Studios is putting out a 4K. This is so crazy. A 4K release of Hans Zimmer live in Prague. This was filmed in May of 2016, and this was over his giant European concert tour. There was a band, orchestra, choir, 72 musicians in total, and they are playing stuff from Driving Miss Daisy, Sherlock Holmes, Madagascar, Angels and Demons, a Gladiator medley, The Da Vinci Code, Lion King, Pirates of the Caribbean, True Romance, Rain Man, whole bunch of others. But to get this on a 4K disc is so crazy. I mean, this is so great. Like, composers don't normally get love like this, and this is the sort of thing that I feel like I normally don't say speak with your wallet, but like if enough people buy this, they might go, oh shit, like let's put out the John Carpenter Blu-ray that he did a few years ago, put that out on 4K, film some of these other things, and actually get great releases of these.
There's none. He didn't do any of his Cool Runnings soundtrack at this concert.
Not on this one.
Yeah.
That was at the earlier tours. Yeah,
I'm not buying it then. No, this is really cool. I love concert. I need to get the Live Baby Live 4K, the NXS. I really want to get that because that concert kicks ass. And I know you were just talking about the Queen concert.
The Queen one, yeah. I told my kid that I got it in 4K, and he was like, "No way,
no way." That's awesome. Yeah, I hope that Criterion does the Monterey Pop again in 4K.
Brendan is asking, is this the first concert film in 4K, like a modern one? I don't think so. I think we already talked about, was it Motley Crue?
Yeah, Motley Crue did, yes. Yep. Yeah, they did.
And that was from like 2015?
Yeah. There's probably, go to Guitar Center in your local town, I guarantee you there's 2 of them in there. Something, Guns N' Roses from 2021.
Covered in dust.
Like yeah, exactly.
Nobody there's ever bought physical media, so they're probably priced at like $73.
The last time I went to Guitar Center, actually, I bought this cable that this mic is plugged into right now.
Look at that!
Yeah,
and you know what? Shout out a Guitar Center. As I'm in LA, I read that any musicians that lost their instruments in the fires here, they were replacing for free. That's badass.
That is sick. Yeah, I honestly, I've never had a bad experience with Guitar Center. They're
overpriced, sure.
Yeah, overpriced for sure. But my dad and I would go by every year when he was at the old car dealership. The manager had like a boys' home that he would buy Christmas gifts for, And every year my dad would buy the like $200 like Squire Telecaster like
Nice.
set, you know, like in a box like starter kit or whatever. He would buy that for a kid at the boys' home, and he sent me to go buy it one year. And the guy that was checking me out was like, he was like, "Oh, so this is your guitar?" And I'm like, "No, my dad's getting it for a boys' home." But he's like, "What? That's really fucking cool, man. Hold on." And he like hooked me up with extra input cables, a bag of picks, and like hooked up all this extra shit. Yeah, so I love guitars, and I've never had any problem with them.
They do good stuff. They're definitely overpriced, but
yeah, and because everybody that works there too is usually like people that are actual musicians and get it and grew up poor, and you know, and like love the art and everything. So yeah, I always appreciate it.
Most of them are probably performing at a bar that Friday, so go check them out.
100%.
April 29th, Kino releasing the next item in the Kino Cult Collection. It is the Pete Walker Crime Collection, which has Cool It Carol, Die Screaming Marianne, Moon, and The Big Switch, which is a weird kind of combination of stuff to call the Pete Walker Crime Collection, but, you know, cool. We got an audio commentary for Die Screaming Marianne by Pete Walker with Jonathan Rigby. Audio commentary for Moon by Kat Ellinger and Martin Contario. We got an interview by Elijah Drenner on Pete Walker and Eye for Terror. And that is the 29th release in the Kino Cult Collection. Some new extras. I like it.
Oh, this is cool. And I know a lot of people are turned off that they like were re-releasing stuff into this lineup, which whatever. Excuse me. I still do not have any Kino Cults, which when it came out, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. And it's not that I don't like anything. They've actually released a lot of cool shit in here.
Some
like
cool
this,
stuff, yeah.
Like this. And there was that one Drifter.
Drifter, solid release.
I want that, and I want the Betty Page film collection thing that they did. There's a lot of cool shit coming through this. And then I know that the Ilsa 4Ks, the SS
constantly
film.
demanded.
Yeah, I know. When those come out, I'm definitely gonna buy all of those. So those have been like, I've had those on my watch list since before I had IMDb.
Right.
From like back, I just remember reading about those movies.
I'm stoked to see those get released just because every Kino announcement right now has 14 comments about when are the Ilsa films coming out.
Yeah, that's everything is that, yeah.
All right. We got a good 10 or 12 left. April 1st, Mill Creek putting out Icons Unearthed James Bond. I've not watched any of the Icons Unearthed yet. However, literally every review about this series has been genuinely great. And not just the James Bond one, all the other ones, the Marvel one, there's a handful of others supposedly really well made. I would love to check these out.
I have seen the Star Wars one.
What do you think
It's good. Yeah, I would like to check this out too. James Bond. I love the James Bond movies. I watched those with my dad growing up, so I've seen all of them. But
most people can say that.
Yes, I'm more partial to the Sean Connery, Roger Moore. I'm like the older ones. I know a lot of people like our age is more interested in like the Pierce Brosnan.
Our age, aren't you 11?
How old did you turn this year?
I just turned 38.
38. Okay, so you're not even 10 years older than me.
No, not at all, but it's fun.
That is fun, yeah. Which, by the way, Ryan, I think I've been on your podcast for your birthday weekend, your anniversary weekend, the birth of your first child. Yeah, it was the night you got married. You did a podcast, and I was on that episode. I feel like every time I'm on your episode, some major milestone for you.
Story of my life, podcasting on anniversaries every day.
Stan with the hour in quotations. Okay, listen. As far relative to James Bond stuff, that is more our generation.
Yeah, we are exactly the same age at that point.
You probably remember those movies in theaters. I do not, but
I remember the Brosnan ones in theaters.
Yeah, the last one, the Die Another Day. I remember that.
I've never been a James Bond person. I've seen, I don't know.
That's like the worst one.
I've seen maybe 8 James Bond movies ever.
Okay, you've probably seen the best ones too.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just can't get into them.
Yeah, you've seen Live and Let Die.
Maybe. I mean,
that's my favorite one. That it's basically a blaxploitation film. It's
Oh.
James Bond in fucking Harlem and like the Caribbean. It's pretty badass. Yeah, Fat Kodo's in it as the antagonist. He kicks ass in it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Amazing. Next up, SAS Rogue Hero Series 1 and 2. Another one of these crazy UK shows that nobody's ever heard of that's supposed to be really well done. This is from 2022 to 2024. I think I put a trailer on here if you want to take a look at this. You should be able to get this fairly cheap on Amazon. Dazzler Media is a very inexpensive label. Check it out. The trailer didn't look awful for this.
Man, I feel like have you not talked about this on your show yet?
Nope.
Damn. I feel like I just saw someone talking about this recently, but it could be true.
It's us right now.
I know. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, this looks interesting.
All right. The next one is the big thing that everybody was talking about today. The Dollars trilogy is coming on 4K and Blu-ray from Arrow Video in the UK. We are getting a fistful of dollars in April, for a few dollars more in May, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in June. The interesting thing is that you can go pre-order all of these now if you are super into them. On the Arrow website, you can check out the details for a fistful of dollars. You cannot see anything about For a Few Dollars More or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. However, these have so much more on the Kino releases. They blow the Kino releases out of the goddamn water. So let's hear some details on A Fistful of Dollars. We got a perfect bound book with new writing by Henry Blythe, Bill Gabiri, Pasquale Ionon, and Eloise Ross. Double-sided poster, brand new 4K restoration from the original 2-perf Technoscope negative. You've got Dolby Vision, which the other ones from Kino did not have. You've got the original English and Italian titles, newly restored mono audio that is English and Italian. That's a big deal because the audio has kind of always sucked on these. You've got the optional newly remixed lossless audio. You've got optional English subs for the deaf and hard of hearing for the English soundtrack, or optional English subs for the Italian soundtrack. Commentary by Sir Christopher Frayling. Another commentary by Tim Lucas. I mean, already massive release. And that's just disc 1. Disc 2, you've got a new interview with Fabio Milelli, new interview with the guitarist Bruno Battisti de Mario, new interview with the Morricone biographer Alessandro De Rosa, new interview with the filmmaker Paolo Bianchini, and then a whole bunch of archival extras, new visual essay by Lovely John. I mean, this is like definitive, incredible releases of this film.
This blew my socks off today.
Yeah.
And also for Craig, it might only be on the UK Arrow site, like arrow.uk. He says he doesn't see him on the Arrow site. Are they?
It is arrowfilms.com.
Arrow Films, yeah, not Arrow Video.
Arrowvideo.com is the US site. Arrowfilms.com is the UK site.
Yeah. Oh, but he could be on the right site and they could not just be up there.
On this Instagram post at the bottom, you can see I've got a link here. That's the link to Fistful of Dollars. If you follow that link and type up the other two titles, they will come up as well.
Yeah, this is a big deal. I never bought the Blu-ray of them. So when I first my collecting started by collecting wrestling VHS tapes, the Royal Rumble 2001. So it was the January 2001. That's like when I started collecting, was when that came out. So probably like March or April of 2001. I basically only collected wrestling stuff until probably like 2005. That's when I started collecting DVDs. And it probably wasn't in 2005. It was probably more like 2009ish when I bought these. Do you remember the white DVDs with the gold lettering? Did you ever have those of these?
I don't think I did.
They were like white slip covers with gold, like embossed lettering on them for all three of these movies, and that I had all three of those, and that's how I watched them all three back then. And then when the Blu-rays came out, I was interested in getting them, but I just never did. And then when the 4K, I missed the slipcover for The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And that's been like 5 years now. And I've just been like, they're going to come out through Arrow or something. And now that time has finally come.
Look at that. So and it paid off.
It paid off big time. So this is, again, not good, building a good case for Kino in the future. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be buying these for sure. I'll probably try to pre-order these ASAP.
So I had some comments today. People upset these are not in a box set. Looking behind the scenes, it is most likely a contractual thing where these have to be separate titles.
True. That's probably true because they've always been individual. Like I said, even with the white slipcovers with the gold, those were all individual too.
Yeah, and usually that could be to make sure that they're compensated properly, so it goes across to be able to share it. It's done in a way that the back end paperwork is easier for both businesses. So I don't really have a problem with them not being in box because I know obviously there's some people that really only want the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's the big title for most people. Yeah. So I got nothing against it.
I had a fistful of dollars before I had the other two. And I for probably like a year, I had it and not the other two, and I watched it like all the time. I had that. I remember buying that and a DVD both from Blockbuster. That and a DVD that was a former rental of Hang 'em High, which is another place with movies. So I remember
that one was released by Shout on Blue. Check that one out.
Oh, nice. I'm sure that comes to 4K too one day.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Last thing to say on these. Shout out Tony Stilla. This artwork is incredible.
God. He's the best. Have you ever listened to him on the Chasing Labels podcast?
Of course.
That's a fucking kick-ass episode. He also has that same kind of mentality, I think, that Howard S. Berger has.
Yep.
Of like his just view on everything, and I love it so much. Like that's totally me.
Yeah, check it out. Chasing Labels. Shout out Steven and Andrew. Great people.
You're going to be on the Unwatch pile soon, right?
I am,
Let's
yeah.
Go.
I'll be over there in just a couple weeks, I think.
Nice. Let's go.
I hope. I need to check when because I need to watch something.
Yeah, true, right?
All right. We got a handful of things left. Eureka also announced today. First up, Laurel and Hardy, The Silent Years, 1928, coming on April 14th in the UK only, not the US. This is part of their Masters of Cinema line, of course. This will be limited to 2,000 copies. You've got commentaries on these. This is region free. Scores by a variety of silent film composers, new visual essays, new interviews, Super 8 presentations of a few of them. On location with Laurel and Hardy from 1928, home video footage. There's quite a bit on these Laurel and Hardy sets that Eureka does. Obviously, Flicker Alley does a great job in the U.S. Laurel and Hardy, how do you feel about these guys?
I love Laurel and Hardy. Babe Hardy actually got his start in Jacksonville before he was paired up with Stan Laurel. So I think he worked for Vim Comedies, which was if Jim Kirkhoff is another board member, he'd be slapping me in the back of the head right now for not knowing this. He's super into the Laurel and Hardy stuff. He's part of the Sons of the Desert or something like that, which is a Laurel and Hardy group that travels and does meetups and stuff like that. And he knows more about it than I do. But Babe Hardy, I think, did probably 20 different shorts here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing at Norman Studios, or that what was when he would have been here would have been Eagle Film Studios. But nothing there, but he did stuff in Jacksonville, which is really cool. And I don't have any of the Flicker Alley or Eureka stuff of Laurel and Hardy, partly because and it's just my stupid brain of being is there crossover? Do I get this one?
Right.
Do I get that one? And then the slipcover's out of print, so I'm I gotta go on eBay and buy the slipcover version of it. So then it's and the short stuff is always hard for me. I always have issues.
Yeah.
But with silent films, it shouldn't be a problem because a lot of that shit just was short films. But it's just my stupid brain. It never makes it high up on my. I need to cop this. What I need to do is buy Radioactive Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter for twice 4K. The price of this. Yeah.
Right. That's hilarious. Great looking releases. Flicker Alley does good stuff. Just a reminder, Eureka, again, we talked about the shipping earlier. Don't know what they've done to get this done, but free worldwide shipping.
Amazing. It's insane. Yeah. Even if you just buy one title on sale on their website for £11, they'll ship it to your house in the United States for free in 4 days. It's insane.
It's amazing.
It is so great. Their website is easy to use and everything too.
Yep.
They have sales frequently. And then
High quality stuff.
high quality shit. They're like their transfers are usually always awesome. They put out weird shit that no one else is going to put out like this. I mean, they put out. It's crazy. It's like growing up. Back in the day, they used to do more. They were like seen as like the Criterion UK counterpart. Now they're kind of like, no, we do everything. We do lots of Hong Kong action films. We do silent stuff. So like they put out like a pretty wide range of shit too. So I highly recommend Eureka for sure. I need to get this.
All right. We got two more from Eureka. The first one is the Magnificent Chang-Che, which includes the Magnificent Trio and Magnificent Wanderers. This is coming on April 28th in the UK and April 29th in North America. These are two Shaw Brothers titles from 1966 and 1977. These are supposed to be great. Have not been able to see these, but we got Jimmy Wang Yu in Magnificent Trio. Just solid. Like Chang-Che is one of the greatest ever, obviously. 2,000 limit here. You've got original mono audio. You got optional English subs. New commentary on the Magnificent Trio by the one and only Frank Jang and Michael Worth. New commentary on Magnificent Wanderers by Mike Leader and Arna Venema. New visual essay by Gary Bettinson, editor-in-chief of Asian Cinema Journal. This one's called Chang-Che Style. And then a booklet with new writing on Chang-Che by James Oliver. I mean, again, we've talked about this so many times, but if you are into Shaw Brothers, you have been eating well for a while.
Very well. This is great too. I want to get this too. I think the last Eureka thing I got outside of this thing,
you can hear
so
the
heavy.
flexing. I love it.
You can hear, yeah. Look at yeah. Outside of this, the last thing I got was that was it the I can't remember the main feature, but it came with a bonus disc with the Mystery of Chess Boxing on it.
Oh yeah,
or whatever the title of that is, and I bought that. I think it's the Swordsman of All Swordsmen. Maybe is the name of the main title on that. But yeah, I got that, and I watched Chess Boxing recently, and that was awesome. That's cool. It's just a bonus disc with a whole feature on it. I love it.
Nice. The title that came out from Eureka with that is The Swordsman of All Swordsmen, and that limited set has been discontinued, unfortunately. Go check it out.
No, Diabolic has it. I just saw
nice.
Like within like the past 48 hours, I'm pretty sure I saw it because I went on there and I checked I logged in and it was still in my cart from Diabolic because I was about to buy it from them, and I went and bought it from Eureka directly because it was cheaper. and I was like, there's no way this is still in stock, and it was still in stock. So I had to take it out of my cart.
I need to get that one. I never did.
Yeah. So no, you should. Yeah, you should check if Diabolic has it. I'm pretty sure they do, because it's cool because the Chess Boxing is like from a private collector that has a print of it. They had to scan just his print of it, and it looks really good. Yeah, because I guess that movie just like doesn't exist anymore on film.
Crazy. Last one from Eureka is The Adventurers from 1995. This is a Ringo Lam title. April 28th in the UK, April 29th in North America. This is a film with Andy Lau, and we've got 2,000 limit again. You got optional English subs, new commentary by David West, new interview with Gary Bettinson, previously unseen archival interview with writer and producer Sandy Shaw, and then a book, the new essay by Aaron Han Jun Magnan Park. That is a hell of a name.
Yeah, no, I want to get this too. And I just saw all your Inspector Rex shit.
I love that everybody's still talking about it.
Yeah, when you were reading off the Dollars trilogy stuff, I chuckled or snorted because I read somebody post. I think it was Ryan posted about Inspector Rex. Inspector Rex sounds like a Wu-Tang member.
It sure does. Yeah. I am. We've got. Gosh, let me see. We've got 5 more slides to cover, but I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to change my audio over because we've got some other people that want to come in and say hi.
Let's go.
I'm going to raise this, and
that's a good idea.
A handful of people coming in. Hopefully, in just a second. Some guests that are here.
You need a applause cue.
For some reason, I can barely hear you out of the computer.
Me?
Yes, you.
It's because I'm being quiet because my girlfriend has to wake up at 5
All right.
a.m.
Oh, no, a minute.
Come on in.
Hello.
Get closer. Jeremy, Alex, and the one and only Brian Sauer, who's just on the show.
Aw.
Let's go. The legend, Brian Sauer.
Oh my goodness.
We can't hear Gage.
It's very quiet, and I can't get it to turn up more. I don't know why. Gage said before we went started that you were the one that he heard before any other BlueTuber, any other podcast. He is thrilled to meet you.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
this
Thank you
this
so
is
much,
true.
man.
Yeah, truly an honor. You're one I've listened to probably longer than anybody.
I wish they could hear you right now.
Yeah.
Sadly, we can't. We're not ignoring
We'll
you.
have to turn up the TV outside.
And then listen
Screen on
for
a
the
delay.
7-second delay.
Yeah.
We just hear Ryan's laugh coming from Alex's TV from 7 seconds ago.
So what was
That's
the first
funny.
Sundance film?
Zodiac Killer Project.
Yes.
Alex can describe it to you.
Sure.
Took extensive notes.
Yeah, I did. Let's see here. I should have brought my notes. Ultimately, it's a documentary about a documentary filmmaker that was really, he was about to make a documentary about the Zodiac Killer, a book that a detective had written. And in the just last second, they pulled the rights and he wasn't able to make it. So as devastated as he was, he just decided to make a documentary about what he would have done had he made the documentary. And then in turn, just practically made the documentary, but by telling it through that vessel. It was brilliant. It was really well done.
On paper, it shouldn't work, but it worked brilliantly.
Good start.
And it's been the same director who did the famous paint
Yes,
dry.
on Letterboxd, he's the famous
Oh, the paint drying
10 hours of
film.
paint drying. Charlie Shackleton.
Amazing.
stuff.
So good start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it was
great.
fun. It was
Very
great.
fun.
All right.
Or stars.
Yeah, I'm ranking it between 4.5. Right now.
Nice.
Oh wow, you guys really liked it.
I gave
Yeah,
it
I
4.
enjoyed
Yeah.
it quite a bit.
We like everything. He doesn't, but he does.
I was a lot more, yeah.
That's me. I like
Says
everything.
4 to 4.5. He really means it.
Yeah, I had a big smile on my face the whole time.
Our laugh always makes Jeremy laugh.
Just
I
keep
love it.
hearing Ryan's laugh from the TV out there. And I think next up is By Design.
By Design, the famous chair movie.
Yes.
Brian Sauer is a legend, says this comment. Jeremy is okay too.
I think,
Alex is the legend for hosting.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
lovely. Thank you
I'm
so
sandwiched between legends. I'm just okay.
I'm just the toothpick holding the sandwich together. Yeah, so it's the byline of
Yes, for those who don't know, the ever so compelling one sentence byline for the Sundance film By Design, directed by Amanda Kramer, starring Juliette Lewis, is a woman turns into a chair and everybody likes her better as a chair. Which, I mean,
yeah, if that doesn't hook you, I don't know what does.
I don't know.
There's no way she's
Hopeful
better
comments
than.
about the vinyl collection.
Oh,
Hello.
sure, yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god.
You wanna-
oh
Yeah,
shit! Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Right, yeah.
Want to pull out some of your faves?
Long time collecting. What questions would you like to ask?
People could see his racks.
Big physical
Blu-ray.
media.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
spinning
one thing. I'm proudest about of this vinyl collection is you got your standard. I think it's called a Calyx IKEA shelf, which is commonly used for holding records. I had cats that were constantly, clawing at them, and I couldn't have that. So I thought of a way like, God, I wish I could have some covers and
This is
engineered
brilliant.
this way.
Wait, this is your own.
Yeah, he designed
I
those.
went to Ace.
Wait till you see
Hardware.
the actual feature of it.
I went to Ace Hardware and was like, hey, can you build me this plexiglass square, drill a hole in the middle so I can put my finger in there, and just a piece of cloth with some rivets, and I staple gun them to the top here. But then it was like, oh crap, now I'm like having to hold them up
Right.
to get the records. So then I just put some
Show that
magnets
top
on.
one there. They can see that
Oh,
one.
okay. Just put some magnets on that bad boy.
Oh man!
Oh my god.
Scoping,
Dude's living in the future.
there you go.
It's so perfect.
Brilliant, dude! You should.
Jesus
Patent
Christ.
pending.
Yeah, I was
People.
gonna say,
I'm waiting for the comments to flow in of people being like,
Oh, I gotta go
Ronnie
get a
says,
vinyl.
"Ooh." Ronnie wants to know some of your favorite bands.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, hands down. Radiohead.
How many times have you seen King Gizzard ever?
At least 10 in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Frank Ocean.
sure, Frank Ocean. I mean, it ranges, but I'm definitely violently obsessed with King Gizzard.
Violently
We'll go great lengths.
There's a lot of great bands hanging on the wall around here too, and I know some that Ryan and I like too, like Copeland and
Hey, there you go. Acid Bath.
Acid Bath.
Okay.
Acid Bath. Any of y'all familiar with Acid
Oh,
Bath? at all?
Sure wish we could hear you, Gage. All right.
I'm just listening to the 7-second delay to
Yeah.
see what I missed.
Gage describing something, and you go, "Oh yeah, cool, thanks."
Well, okay.
good to see you.
We'll be done soon. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
We'll wait for you to.
Yeah, I'll be done soon.
Bye.
All right, let me change this so I can actually hear you again.
That's all good.
All right, there we go. Hey, thanks.
Can you hear me now?
I can't.
Yeah, it's cool. I see Celeste says Acid Bath and Cinder Journey says they just reunited. They have not done a show or an album or anything since their bass player died in 1997. And their first show was supposed to be in Las Vegas for whatever festivals out there, but that festival got canceled. So now their first show is going to be at Rockville at Daytona International Speedway,
Oh,
which
geez.
used to be here in Jacksonville. Now it's at Daytona, which is only like an hour and a half away. Not even.
Right.
So me and my cousin are going down there to see that in May. It's the Saturday, May 18th, I think. So I'll be going.
Very
down there.
nice.
I'm so fucking stoked. It's like it's like that and like the Smiths are like the two bands I never thought would be able to get together and do a show.
Right.
It's like that level of like, holy shit, that's crazy.
All right, we got like 4 more slides to cover. Next up is Trancers getting a 4K release from 101 Films on March 31st. This is another one of their Black Label titles. This is going to be the exact same full moon release. It's not going to be a new scan or anything like that. It does have a bunch of new extras, though, so if you love this movie, it might be worth it. You got a new interview with Charles Band, new interview with Chris Alexander, new interview with Ted Nicolau, and then a booklet with a bunch of new writing in here, and then a whole bunch of archival extras. I know a bunch of people watch this on Christmas. This is hell of a release for this film.
Yeah, that's really cool. 101's scary, though. They can be hit or miss.
They can be hit, really. I'm just kidding. That was kind of mean.
Well, I will say one of the best things that I watched last year was I forget the name. Ghostwatch.
It's a great release.
That's
great
and
release.
it was I think I got it for $19.88 on Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Killer release by them.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
But then also, like, they released stuff like 4 months ago, and it just went out of print. It was wild. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
101
sometimes
Films.
sometimes like the encoding is like DVD level too with their releases.
All right. That is Trancers, not transfers. I'm so used to talking about transfers. Next up, Disembodied. This is the Bleeding Skull 4K that just got released. There are some, I think it's mostly Panasonic players that when you try to play the 4K, there is an issue with it. It stutters for a minute and then the sound plays while the video is not playing, and then it like catches up, and then it's anyways. They are getting this fixed. They're going to be working to find a fix and then sending out a replacement disc to anybody that bought straight from OCN, Vinegar Syndrome. If you bought elsewhere, be prepared to send them an email. But yeah, that is Bleeding Skull's replacement.
Damn, I saw that you posted this earlier and I didn't realize what this was. I have this and now I gotta wait. Well, I mean, I don't have that player, so it'll probably still work for me, but
It's probably fine.
I'll still wait for a replacement disc. But
Just in
yeah,
case.
they should really put the poster art or the cover art of the movie for this because it's not like it's a well-known movie or anything like that. So they should post that in this so we know what we're talking about here.
You would think. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be an obvious choice.
Yeah, that is troublesome because considering Panasonic is one of the players out, and it's the one that everybody thinks is the best one too.
Right.
Which I have the whatever the cheapest Sony one that has Dolby Vision. It's like that it's like only software updated that it does Dolby Vision. I have that one, and I cannot wait to get rid of it and get the Panasonic. But it seems like the Panasonic's been having more and more issues with certain specific titles lately. So.
This is true. I've been considering getting that Panasonic as well for the bedroom, and also just have as a backup for when inevitably my other one dies.
I thought about it, and I've also thought about getting the $1,000 one too.
Yeah,
just because like it might last longer. I don't know.
Well, they're built like a tank, so God, I hope they do.
I know. I've seen them. They're like metal and everything. They look very nice. So
absolutely. Now, Gage, I normally don't promote myself too much, so please bear with me for these next couple of posts. I'm going to be awkward as hell.
Yourself.
I promise.
No, I need this.
So the first thing, the next issue of the Physical Media Advocate is releasing in the next handful of days when Amazon approves it. This is the cover, obviously a tribute to the great David Lynch. As soon as we heard about the passing, we changed what we were going to do, which I want to tribute him, but kind of sucks because the cover that it was going to be is pretty amazing, and we can't use it again. So hopefully we find some other use for it. It's a special issue, and I hope people enjoy it. But the real reason to reveal this is I've been asked countless times for people that want a subscription for the print version of the Physical Media Advocate. And finally, if you go over to the Patreon, I've set it up. $13.50 a month will get you a copy of this every time it's released. Nice. You don't ever have to worry about ordering another one. It will get sent to you as soon as I get it. If you are already a patron or you want to support and be in the Discord while you're getting this also, there's a $20 tier, which gets you everything that you would have got at the $12 tier plus the print version. So you get the digital version of the Advocate. You get access to the Discord, all the extra videos and all that other stuff. I hope people check it out. I know Patreon's not the best. And the other big thing, obviously, I can really only do this for U.S. shipping. Shipping internationally would eat all of the money and more because it's crazy. The other thing is we're not going to release an issue every single month, but we're going to probably do about 10 a year. And then on top of that, got some plans for some like special edition issues that might be slightly longer. And you'll get them same free as charge, same price, which they might be pricier elsewhere. So on Amazon, if they're a whole bunch of pages, I have to charge more, or they'll literally make me pay them, and I can't just pay out of pocket to print those, obviously. So check it out. You can get all of them for the exact same price. Hope you're into that. And then the other big thing, this is where it gets crazy. Man, this is wild to talk about publicly. Based on all of the changes going on in the U.S. right now, I am probably going to be affected during my day job unless something changes. And based on that, there's going to be some things that I can't really keep up with. And I'm trying to make some changes. Out of the kindness of his heart, Craig from Deaf Crocodile, just out of nowhere, about a week and a half ago, asked me, "Hey, you doing okay?" And I mentioned some of the things that were happening, obviously, and how it was going to affect me, and explain the situation. And he basically said, "Hold on." Came back later, and Deaf Crocodile and some other people behind the scenes that are to be named later are throwing in a whole bunch of out-of-print items, things that you can't get elsewhere, slipcovers from Kickstarters that are going for big money on eBay, the entire Patushko box set. Craig even offered, if somebody goes in on the highest tier of the Discord, that is, I think it's $40, or not of the Discord, sorry, of the Patreon, I think it's $40 a month, and you pay for a full year in advance, you'll get a copy of every single deluxe edition of the Deaf Crocodile releases that have come out so far.
That's shouts out to Craig. Let's go.
Yeah. Craig is doing so much to support, and I'm so humbled by it. But essentially, the promotion here is if you sign up at the $12 tier or higher on any of these, you're going to get something special. And I'm got these labeled out based on price, what they're worth. And if you go at each tier, there's going to be a list of items for that tier. And in order of who signed up at that tier, you'll get the choice to have the list of these options to choose from. And I will send it to you just for signing up for the full year in advance. It is such a huge help right now. I don't want to be like doomsday about it, but at one point in the last week, I had to come to terms with the fact that the disconnected could literally cease to exist, possibly. I don't think that's going to be the case, but if I have some of these other things happen, that was on the table. The reality is I have a family that I have to take care of, and most of this stuff does not pay. So to be able to continue doing all this, this was Craig's idea, and I got to say thank you to Craig. This is astonishing. I'm so grateful that you stepped up like that. And I'm hoping when people hear this or watch this that they see that and step in. Again, I don't normally ask for anything because I'm not that type of a person. I really hate to be able to say this, but in all reality, I would love to quit my day job and do this full time. And if I could do this full time, I do everything I do right now with a full-time job. Imagine if I didn't have a full-time job, what I could get done. Any questions? If you want to know what's affecting me, I'm fully transparent for reasons that should be pretty obvious. I'm not going to say it publicly, but if you want to DM me, I can vent to you and talk about it all day long. Anything I can do to help you, I promise I will. That's who I pride myself in being. I had somebody today that commented on one of the Facebook statuses for the disconnected that they don't comment very much because people in the comments are condescending and don't do well at answering questions. But I want to point out, I'm always here. If somebody just wants to DM because they have something they think is a stupid question about a release, I'm not going to make you feel bad and answer your question. If you just DM me, I'm here and happy to help. That's what I do.
Ryan, you're the fucking man. Every time that I'm on, I know I always gush over you and tell you how amazing you are and how amazing this show is and how important this show is to me every week listening to you. Because every week you put on not only an episode, but they're usually between 2.5 and 6 hours. And it's able to get me usually through 2 days of work because that's like a lot of content. And you also put out additional content on top of that. And what you do is nothing short of amazing. You by far the best person on YouTube doing this. You have built a community of amazing people. Checking the Discord is probably like the highlight of my day. And going on there and just like you've created a community of these people that want to talk about this shit because none of us are able to talk about this with our friends in our real life. I'm lucky that I have a couple friends that collect stuff.
Yeah.
But they collect Criterions. Like I'm not talking.
Right.
I'm not talking to anybody about Rumpelstiltskin. You know what I mean?
Or Ninja Terminator from
exactly, or Ninja Terminator. They're like, "What the fuck is a cauldron?" or "What the fuck's a neon eagle?" Yeah, they're like, "What the fuck is that shit?" So this is amazing that I've made like a lot of pretty good friends. Not friends, but just people I talk to every day, like in the group chat or in the Discord. You know, there's a lot of people I find that respond, and you know I'm always enjoying my conversations with people in there, and you've got important people in there too, like Craig and Justin the Liberty is in this Patreon Discord, and you know you've been able to bring in a lot of people like this that we can just talk to and be like homies with and chat with. It's really fucking cool, and you're the man, and I hope no matter what happens, I hope that we get some kind of something from you because you are a bright spot for everybody that listens to you for sure.
The Discord is such a unique thing to talk about to people that have not been in there because it's genuinely like an escape.
Incredible. Yeah.
It's so amazing. The other thing, and I said this to Craig on the phone the other day, but I said Thursday nights for me is literally like my church. Mm-hmm. I'm not a believer anymore, but literally this is a group of people with the same beliefs that this is important, getting together with other like-minded people and talking about stuff that they can't really talk about with anyone else. That's essentially church.
And it's a spot where like you don't have to, we like that are on the show, like people like that, or the people here, we don't qualify what it is that we like. We don't have to be like, I'm not a cardboard person, but you know what I mean? Like we all get it. You know what I mean? Everybody here, that's like whatever. Like, so everybody is so fucking cool and everybody just kind of gets what it is and like enjoys themselves. So you're not having to constantly like, prove yourself or qualify your beliefs in like what certain studios are doing or what certain labels are doing. It's just like, this is the best fucking group of people to talk about this stuff with every day. So please, everybody join the Discord, because I love it when I would love it if there's even more people in there talking. Like, I love my favorite thing to do is go to the pickups thread. Which, if you go on Reddit, people are like, I'm tired of seeing what you bought. I don't want to see this shit anymore. But I love going in there and seeing like what fucking anybody gets and like seeing their fucking, stack of just like 3 movies and being like, oh, that's fucking sick. Oh man, I forgot that came out. I got to get that. It's just like that shit is so fucking cool. And you really have built an amazing community for sure.
Well, and some of the stuff, like I think you've done it for one or two of the titles too. We'll say, hey, we just noticed this is going out of print, and everybody in there's like, oh shit, we'll go find it, and you'll share like, hey, it's in stock over here. And I'm not getting that in chats, anywhere else.
No, that's when I wake up. My alarm wakes me up, and I'm like, shit, and I go Discord stock updates. I have to check it. I got to make sure there's nothing I'm missing out on.
The other big thing, and this is not to like talk myself up, but I don't remember if this has been announced publicly yet because it still has to get approved. But this whole community has allowed for the interviews that I've gotten. A lot of these don't happen if they don't see a reason behind it. And it's not just like number of views, because honestly, I'm still a very small YouTuber. I have like a tiny channel compared to most of these people, but there are interviews that I'm able to get because they have heard how welcoming the community is, how people here love the knowledge. And I will share, because I don't think it's been said publicly, my next interview that's going up is literally, and I was planning on sharing this tonight because Gage is here and he's going to love this, and we've talked about it behind the scenes.
You're having Charlie Chaplin on.
It's amazing. His ghost, dude, is going to be like...
Laurel and Hardy are here next week, guys.
It's going to be like... like one of the music festivals where the hologram so the next actual interview is George Williman, the nitrate film vault leader with the Library of Congress. Wow. He had to get that approved through the federal government to be able to come on the show. And like that's, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that's literally, this community has allowed that to happen because they know that they want this sort of thing. So if you want stuff like that, this is, I hate to make it sound like I'm begging, and I waited until after my birthday to make you know it's not about that or anything. I don't need it for sympathy. If you want to support the channel and support everything, this is the way to do it. Any of these promotions would be great. Hope you like it. If you have any thoughts on or anything, you have questions, or if this is confusing on what gets you in for whatever promotion, message me. I answer everybody kind of freakishly fast. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, dude, anytime I fucking mail you or email you or message you on anything, you respond within 5 seconds. It's insane. Yeah. You are the best about that. You really, you are a professional and you know what you're doing. And this show, the thing is, no one else, if you couldn't do this every Thursday, nobody else could do this like you do every Thursday. This is really a skill that you have right here doing this. And this is so fucking cool. And you teased this the other day that you were having him on something, right?
Yeah.
I forget what it was that you teased that on. And
it was another podcast.
Okay, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I can't wait to see what that is. And that's fucking awesome. I wonder if he knows that the gentleman on our board, Jim Kirchhoff.
I guarantee you he does.
He probably does. He worked in video at the Pentagon, and he has friends at the Library of Congress, and he's also friends with Ben Modell. They're like personal friends, so I wonder if they know him. I'll have to ask him this weekend. I'll probably see him on Saturday, and I'll ask him if he knows him. But that I cannot fucking wait. And you ask the questions that everybody wants to ask these people, so this is there couldn't have been a better person that interviews him. This is gonna be sick.
I hope people like it. It was a long conversation, like a good 90 plus minutes, edited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Slightly under that, but it
Nice.
was great. And it's going to be hilarious because there's Christmas lights in the background. We had this conversation back at the beginning of December.
Nice.
It's been a process.
That is fucking sick. Yeah, no, it's my dream to go up there and go visit them. I'm hoping that I'm actually able to go to MoMA in April. Because they have a film. They have a film that was shot here in Jacksonville, and it was shown here in Jacksonville in like 2007, and has not been shown since. And it's not digitized. It's from 1927, and so they're like, the only way you can see it is if you actually come up here and fucking see it. Yeah, so I'm like, I gotta find the fucking time to carve out a weekend and go up to. The MoMA's weird. They're like screening hours is like it's like only Monday through Wednesday or something like that. So it's not. I can't even pick a weekend. I have to like take time off work and fly to New York City to go see this fucking movie
just to see a short.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like 61 minutes long, but yeah, this is awesome, and I just want to say too. Celeste's interview, just to put Celeste over real quick, with Oscar Betcher from
it's a great
Vinegar
one.
Syndrome. Oh my god, that's an amazing interview. So
it really is.
Yeah,
was a great time. And honestly, shout out Oscar. He's the reason that we were able to get the Library of Congress on the show. So shout out Oscar.
Nice. So that whenever I do go up to New York City, I'm gonna use you to try to talk to Oscar to try to get. I want to go to Vinegar. I'm gonna take the train up there because I want to go to the archive, but I want to like go into the actual archive.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta talk about that.
you brought him up, so I'm gonna share the story just because it's funny as hell.
Okay.
One of the very first things I ever did for Terrorvision, for producing stuff for them, was we were working on Dante's Inferno, and I said, we're doing Dante's Inferno. We should really have Ben Modell talk about scoring these things live.
Yeah.
He needs to write for the booklet. And I emailed Ben and I said, Ben, when you get a chance, can you call me? Here's my number. He called me like 20 minutes later and he says, hey, I'm in between gigs at the Museum of Modern Art. Do I need to delay this one so we can talk, or can I call you after? I'm like, you're at MoMA, dude.
No, you're good.
Do your job.
Go do your thing. That's amazing. We're hoping that we can get Ben Modell to Norman Studios to do because when we bring back Silent Sundays, we want to have a speaker series as well where we have people come and talk about stuff. And my dream is to be able to show that he just put out the bat through Undercrank.
Sure did.
And I am hoping that either this October or next October we could show the bat and actually have him there to perform for it and talk about
Incredible.
That. Yeah, so I'm hoping that he doesn't know that I'm thinking about that, but I need to get with my guy on the board who knows him pretty well. So,
Trev Endeavor just said I'm going to hear Ben Modell live at the end of the month. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, that's sick. That would be fucking cool to see.
All right, so that is enough of my stuff. Again, if you have any questions, what gets you what? I know the whole tier thing on Patreon can be confusing. If you need any help, just DM me. I will write you back, I guess, as Craig says, before you even finish your message. But I am stoked that so many people are shouting out, supporting anybody else tonight. That's great. And the big thing, the promotion is essentially never ending. I've got a bunch of my own stuff that I'm putting towards this to make sure people get good stuff. I posted today and 2 other labels DM'd me to say, hey, I know you're going through it. If you need more stuff, we're here to help. And literally other labels are offering up stuff. So thank you so much.
And I'll say right now, I'll make sure you get some Norman Studios shirts to give away for it.
Well, like I said, let's talk afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
Jim Harwood says, I grew up with George Williman and also worked with him at Library of Congress for many years. Great. Amazing, Jim. That's awesome.
Sick. I wish Culpeper, Virginia was a cool place to live. I would like to live up there and fucking and fucking work there for a living.
Yep. All right. I think we have one thing, and really all that's left is kind of another me thing. Shelf Shock Rewind Awards. The voting for this ends in like 26 hours now.
Okay,
if you have not voted yet. No, not minutes. Oh, that'd be awful. 26 hours. This is over. And then after that, it's a lot of work. There's so much that's going to be going on in the next 10 or 11 days. You can check this out live on February 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a hell of a show. I've got a couple things that even Michelle, the co-host, does not know about yet. That's going to be incredible. I hope people check this out this year. Lots of great giveaways. One of the big ones, we got some Vinegar Syndrome stuff this year. So we've got a full blank slipcover markers and side roads release to give away for people that didn't get it. We've got a full cinematograph package to give away. We've got a Brother Belial gift card to give away. We've got some other stuff. It's going to be an incredible year for that. Come check us out. It's always a good time. And of course, it's going to be an emotional year. We got somebody to award the Sergio Mims Award. We got the passing of Lee Gammon we got to talk about, and got some more. Always more tricks up our sleeve.
This is the highlight of the year every year. I cannot fucking wait for this. It's gonna be sick.
It's a fun thing to put on, but man, it's a lot of work. Can't wait to share with everybody. Any questions, let me know. But as usual, first thing we cover after that, next week coming out, Wicked 4K. Go ahead.
Real quick. While you do this, I've been crushing IPAs. Let me go to the restroom while you do
got it. I'll cover next week.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. Wicked 4K, Twin Peaks from Z to A coming out next week. Punch Drunk Love 4K from Criterion. The Sacrifice 4K from Kino Lorber. We've got Bewitched, the complete series from Mill Creek. Juror number 2 from Warner Brothers. The horror release from Kino Cult, the Ken Russell horror, finally coming out. A Real Pain coming out on Blu-ray from 20th Century, I think, Disney. Sick 4K from Scream Factory 1. I definitely want to check out in a sale later. VHS Beyond from Shudder and RLJE. Chinese Odyssey Parts 1 and 2. Some re-release of Steelbooks. One I got my eye on here. Spaghetti Western Classics 4K from Kino. Kill Them All and Come Back Alone, plus The Hellbenders, both in 4K. Azrael with Samara Weaving. Anybody seen this yet? I definitely want to check that one out. Samara Weaving's been pretty great and everything. Monster from the Ocean Floor from Film Masters. Oh Canada from Kino Lorber. That new Quantum Leap complete series, The Invisible Raptor, which I was talking to somebody the other day who had seen it. I'm interested to check it out for sure. Joan Baez, I Am a Noise coming out next week, and then the Joan Jett Bad Reputation Blu-ray. Not a ton in this first week, but February is a heavy month overall for releases. So be looking forward to that. We got a lot to cover in the magazine for sure. And glad that we got a long month to cover it because it's a lot of releases coming. Saw Azrael at Panic Fest last year, says KB. Needs another look. Interesting. I definitely need to check it out. Stan, yes, I need to teach you Discord when I see you. Hopefully this weekend we can talk about it. Scott says Azrael is great. Nice. Paul's got to learn how to figure out Discord. I gotta anybody that joins the Discord, I've got a tutorial video I made for somebody in there, and I'll send it to you. Let me know you need it, and I can DM it to you. So thank you all. As we wait for Gage, some other things that we should talk about tonight. We are covering what is coming up in 2025 that we're looking forward to. The biggest piece of People That Love Reconnected, though, next Thursday. Will Dodson is missing a Thursday for the first time in a very long time since he's up usually for the first Thursday of the month. He will also not be here in March, but we are working on some stuff behind the scenes that he might be able to update us on. We are going to get him back on as soon as possible, but unfortunately his teaching schedule was not able to be super conductive to what we were doing for these next 2 months. He's not going to miss all of them, just those 2 months in a row, and then he'll be back. Next week, we've got a fun show lined up, and then I believe KB is going to be our guest in the first week of March, as I am answering him in the chat. And now Gage is back. So now that Gage is back, 2025, looking ahead to the year. First off, we're covering 2 different sections. 2025 films that we're looking forward to, and then boutique stuff. Now, the boutique thing, I went back and read our messages, and I went, uh-oh, this is kind of open to interpretation. So what did you pick for the boutique stuff?
I was actually thinking about it, too. I didn't really pick. Some of it is studio stuff, so...
Okay, so I didn't pick titles. I picked like philosophical ideas that I'm hoping for. So I think it'll be a fun conversation.
Pretty much. Yeah. Same thing with me. So I think only one of it is a specific title. The rest of it's all philosophical.
Nice.
Yes.
You want to cover new movies or you want to cover those physical media wishes first?
Do you want to do that, or do you want to flip flop between them? What do you want to do? I don't care.
Let's do new movies first, because
Yeah.
we were talking about Sundance earlier. I'm all hyped on new movies coming out. So,
Okay.
Your first title. What is one that you're looking forward to seeing from this year?
So, this year, let me pull my notes up. I'm kind of out of the loop more. Anthony said Gage got those Billy Gunn shorts from Stash Pages. I did. And is that Anthony from the
It is.
Discord with the cat? Okay. When I get in the Discord after I get this, I got a great story to tell you, but I can't tell it in a public space.
So if you want access to the story, hey, join the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord. Exactly. Get some good story time. But I am more out of the loop now on current movies than ever, probably since in the past 10 years, I guess. And
Wow.
I had to look at some stuff because it's so hard to decipher what so many, I was looking at a list of upcoming movies and one that's coming out in December is the new Peter Dinklage Toxic Avenger movie that's from 2023. And it's going to be considered a new movie for 2025 because I know that they've had distribution issues with it.
Right.
I guess it showed at a couple festivals or something like that. And it's what even is a new movie at this point? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And movies have this extended kind of shelf life where they debut at Cannes Film Festival this May, right? But then they won't come out in the United States until fucking June.
Literally 16 months.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of hard to really pick up. So I guess just to be kind of overviewing on it, that's the first thing I put out is whatever's announced at the 78th annual Cannes Film Festival this May. That's
nice.
My thing I've been doing since I've been in high school is when that gets announced on IMDb. So I use Letterboxd, but I use it more just to track currently what I watch. I don't really, I don't even think I'm friends with you on Letterboxd. In which we discovered we're not friends on Facebook either, which I don't use Facebook. I have a burner account for purposes to talk to people like Ryan. But we've been talking on there, but I didn't have him as a friend. But my Letterboxd, I just basically have a few personal friends that I follow, and Sean Baker and Celeste. Celeste is one of the very few people. And Aaron too. Yeah, I need to follow you. I should follow you, but I don't know why I haven't even thought of that. But IMDb is where I keep my watch list at, and every year when they drop, and the Sundance one is one I do too. They usually make a list on their page. It's an official IMDb thing where they put all the movies that come out at Sundance and at Cannes Film Festival, and I find myself usually adding 90% of the list to my watch list. Yeah. And typically that's all the movies that I'm excited for that year. Every year, that's usually where a bulk of my stuff comes from, is both the Sundance and the Cannes Film Festival. So I'm excited to see, because we don't have any information now. I looked it up. I thought we would already have info, but if you go to their website, it's still all last year's list. I guess we don't even know who the judges are or anything this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they wait for a couple other things to happen before they announce things, but it does feel slightly late at this point.
Yeah, right. I know it's in May, so it's and it's usually early May. So
yeah.
What's surprising? His account isn't his name. So, is it my name in the Discord is Lonely Golfer? Is that my name on I don't even know what my name on Letterboxd is. So
right.
Okay, I need to make sure I got it on there. My name on Letterboxd. I think I have two of them. The one I created one years ago because my friend wanted me to, and then I lost.
That's very Gage.
So I made a new one. But the one I currently use, anybody can follow me right now, it's just Gage Hogsten with no space. So exactly how you see it typed out on the screen right now. GageHogsten, all lowercase.
The podcast thanks you for that. For spelling it out.
Yeah. But that makes sense. Okay. But something I also do, I don't rate movies or anything. So a lot of my people in my real life that I meet, they add me and they'll be like, "What the fuck is this? You don't have reviews for anything? What the fuck are you even using this app for?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. But I did finally add favorites on my letterbox, which I did not have favorites until yesterday. I just added. And my 4 favorites are His Girl Friday, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, and Eraserhead.
I don't think you needed to say from 1974.
Just wanted to make sure everybody knew that I was not talking about it. Although I do really like the 2003 one. So
It's a very good movie. I love that one.
it's very, very good. Yeah.
So good movies. Speaking of, my first one, and I chose actual titles that I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, most of these are just in the next few months. I think only one of these is like pretty late in the year.
Okay.
The first one has been delayed like 3 times, and only for marketing reasons. The movie's made. Everybody probably already knows what I'm talking about. Mickey 17.
Yes. Yeah, that keeps getting delayed.
Bong Joon-ho, I've loved pretty much everything that I've seen from him. I still somehow have not seen, I think, 2 of his films that I really need to. But this looks amazing. The cast, obviously Robert Pattinson's a big deal, but like Steven Yeun showing up and playing a big role. This movie looks so much fun, and I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. You want to? I don't know. I know you were in the unwatch pile the other day. Thank you. By the way, I just got a shit ton of follows on. I can't believe it.
Everybody's typing.
I probably just doubled my follower count on Letterboxd. But dang it.
Craig says only 4 reviews and half of them are Deaf Crocodile titles.
Dude, I mean, every time I watch one of those discs, I'm just like fucking blown away.
Gotta tell the world.
I could have very easily did one for Benny's Bathtub too. That was one of my favorite discs I watched last year as well.
We were just talking today about Benny's Bathtub and how it's like the only one that sticks out because it's seemingly actually skews towards a child crowd compared to the other animation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, 100%. I'm hoping Mother gets a Criterion. It did. You're talking about the 1997 Mother, but no, I'm joking. But no, I hope that does too. I think that movie was wrongly hated. I have one other friend that liked it a lot, but all of my friends went and saw it and they all hated it.
Well, are you talking about the Aronofsky?
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking about the Bong Joon-ho one.
Oh, there's a fucking third one. Okay, okay, so back to what I was saying was I don't know if you listened to the whole unwatched pile, but at a certain point in the video I kind of tease my top 10 list of how the fuck have you not seen these movies yet, Gage?
Right.
And one of the Lord of the Rings movies, I've never seen any of those. But another one is I've never seen any of Bong Joon-ho's movies.
None of them. Wow.
None of them. Not by choice. It just has happened that way.
I feel like you would probably really enjoy The Host for all the reasons that I do. It's such an incredible movie when you learn the backstory too.
It's been on my watch list for a very long time. Yeah,
I know how that goes.
Literally every single one of his movies has been on my watch list since it came out, basically.
All right, let's hear the second thing you got on your list to look forward to.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No, why are you apologizing?
Oh, because I didn't have my notes up. I'm sorry. Usually I don't have notes for your podcast, but I made sure to this time. But my next one is something I didn't realize was actually coming out this year because I had actually just heard of it. But apparently it's coming out this December. Is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein?
This was going to be on my list too, so I'm glad. I'll name one of my other ones. Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for this because he is someone that makes movies that every time I see one of his films, I'm just like, man, I want to be, because like, I think all of us want to be a filmmaker. It's in some part of our brain, right? And I'm like, if I was ever a filmmaker, I would never be able to make this. This is like truly incredible. He that makes like Disney movies, basically.
Yep.
Makes movies that are magical, but also extremely fucked up. Like, I think Pan's Labyrinth is like one of the most fucked up movies.
I love that movie.
Spoiler alert I'm sorry, I hate spoilers, so I'm so sorry. This is the second time I'm doing this tonight.
No, do I need to do it again? Here we go. Ready? If you've never seen Pan's Labyrinth, wait until the background is off the screen.
Whoa, I like this. This is fucking sick. Okay, and it's just going to be, and if you're listening on the podcast, I'm just going to say it's going to take 7.
Fast forward 15 seconds.
Yeah, starting now. When homie smashes the guy's son's face in front of his dad.
so brutal.
That's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in a movie. Is probably that. It's very dark.
It is. Yeah. Love the movie. I hope people that have never seen it check it out because it's a masterpiece. And very excited for Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he does this because do you remember a few years ago when the Dark Universe was supposed to be the next MCU or whatever?
Yep.
You know,
and then they did that photo shoot that is so
the
cringe
photo
now.
shoot is insane that they did that and posted that and then just never they made the mummy.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my god, yeah. So when that was initially posted, I was like so fucking boned up for it. I was like, thank God we need these because as far as these Universal movies, do you know if this Frankenstein movies are going to be through Universal?
I'm not sure if it's through Universal, but I don't think it's related to this because
I don't think it is either. Because they're supposed to be restarting this Dark Universe thing.
Yeah, I believe there's one coming out this year too from the Frankenstein side.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say because I know that James Wan is apparently attached to do the creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know how true that is. That's just like the rumor.
I could be into that.
I could be. And I was like, so the only true person that should be directing the creature from the Black Lagoon is me. They should have me. That's who they should have fucking doing. I'm the only.
That is confidence. Right. Universal, I know you're watching.
Listen,
higher Gage.
If it's not filmed in Jacksonville, I'm not gonna watch it. So James Wan, though, I was like, okay, I'll check that one out. But yeah, I'm interested to see because I feel like Guillermo del Toro's take on it is going to be more like, I feel like it's going to give the vibes of that Pinocchio movie that he just did. You know, I feel like it's going to have that more folktale kind of like handmade kind of vibes, which is actually going to be pretty cool. So, but I could be completely wrong, and it could be fucking lightning bolts and metal and fucking nuts because anything he does is fucking amazing. So
yeah, I've been stoked for this one. This is one that he's wanted to make for a long time. So, glad you brought it up. This was like one that I wanted to bring up, but now I can replace it with one of the other ones that wasn't going to be able to fit.
There you go. Yeah, no, Mickey 17 was my like number 6. So.
Nice. So this next one, this is really obvious, and it's like about to come out. In fact, Jeremy and Alex have both already seen it. I am so stoked to see The Monkey.
That looks. I've still never seen any of his movies. Osgood Perkins.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I need to see Long Legs, and he has one other one, right?
Blackcoat's Daughter.
Blackcoat's Daughter. Yes.
So with Osgood, like I liked Blackcoat's Daughter a lot. Longlegs is good, but I'm not as high on it as most people.
Mm-hmm.
But man, The Monkey looks freaking amazing. It looks so damn good, and it's got really great reviews so far. So stoked for that. I am loving that it seems like they're not holding back, and the marketing's not giving a lot of stuff away, just that it's super bloody. And it looks great. I love that he already has that movie lined up right after Longlegs came out, and supposedly Jeremy said in the Q&A for The Monkey, he already has another movie made to follow up this one that he's like just ready to go because he didn't know how it was going to go.
That's insane. That's like I think we talked about in the Unwatch pile the other day about that's kind of like how Luca Guadagnino. I feel like in my head Challengers just came out, and then he had Queer come out, and now he like already has another movie coming out in like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, both of those movies came out in 2024, and he's already got a third one that's like about here.
I love that. I bring back fuck this. Like I'm just gonna make 8 movies over 20 years, and they're all gonna be perfect. Nah, I want The Factory to come back. I want some Michael Curtiz motherfuckers making 217 movies in 10 years.
Well, and Yorgos Lanthimos did that too because he thought that everybody's going to look at this movie that came out and Emma Stone's nude for the whole second half. Everybody's going to hate it and he'll never get another chance. So he said, "Screw it, I'm going to go make another movie really fast and get ready to release it."
That's awesome. Yeah, and I actually still have not. Poor Things is only English movie I have not seen, so I still need to see Poor Things. Yeah, I really do want to see that. I did see Kinds of Kindness in theaters, which was really.
I'm the opposite. I still need to see that one.
Yeah, it's good. It's for sure good. But The Monkey, I've only have seen the like one clip of it that starts at the advertisement where it's like the guy walking from the street like into that like that shot is. That gives me the kind of
creepy
vibes. It's fucking creepy. He fucking gets it. So I love that a lot. So I'm like, that's all it takes is that 6 seconds from that makes me want to see it.
All right, what is next on your list?
Sorry, my phone keeps going into power save modes. Okay. The next thing on my list will be Josh Safdie's Marty Supreme.
Oh, I didn't realize that was coming this year. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't either. I know that I knew that they'd finished filming it because I'd saw a clip of Timothy Chalamet on like Theo Von or something where he's talking about. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, when we were filming it, he wanted my eyes to look really fucking beady, so he made me wear these contacts that made them really small, and then blew them up with this glasses he made me wear, so my eyes and my eyes were all fucked up, blah blah blah. And
wow.
I was like, oh damn! I was like, did they film that already? And I looked it up. It's in post production. So, and it's supposed to come out this summer. Which, spoiler alert for my next one. I guess I'll just say it right now. My next one will be the Smashing Machine. So, which that's the Benny Safdie. Oh, okay. With The Rock being what the fuck is the guy's name? The UFC fighter, the MMA fighter. Yeah, that's going to be interesting because that has Emily Blunt in it too, which is crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
And Marty Supreme has Gwyneth Paltrow in it, which is like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's like crazy.
Love it.
Yeah, they're getting like all these huge actors and actresses now to be in these films are going to be really cool, and it's going to be cool to see them doing their own. Like, what does a Benny Safdie movie look like? What does a Josh Safdie movie look like? So that's my 3 and my 2 are those two. Mark Kerr, thank you, Scott. Yes. So
I love that people are excited for this. I mean, the Safdies are incredible.
Yeah, Good Time. I saw that in theaters, and
love Good Time.
Okay, Good Time is fucking insane. It's so fucking good. That movie's so good. And that movie in the same year, maybe the year before, The Lost City of Z with Robert Pattinson. Those two movies made me fall in love with Robert Pattinson.
He's incredible. Yeah, he's absolutely incredible. I like Good Time more than Uncut Gems, and they're both great.
They're both awesome. Yeah.
For some reason, that movie, it sticks to your bones more.
It does. It's also like, it's more grungy. It's more punk rock. It's more, it gives that more of a dirty feel than Uncut Gems does. But Uncut Gems is also fucking sick. Yeah.
Good Time feels like one of those movies that they filmed without permits, running away from the cops.
And I believe that they did, because I remember
some of the scenes. Yeah.
Yes. Because the opening scenes of Uncut Gems where you get the helicopter shot of the freeway on the Manhattan. I remember watching a video of them talking about how that was the first movie that they actually had to fully storyboard because of that, specifically that shot with the helicopter. He's like because the budget was so high that they're like, we're not going to just let you go out there and wing it. This is going to cost so much fucking money.
Right.
You have to have it storyboarded exactly how you want it. So that way, when we go film it, they film it exactly how you have it storyboarded. So I think Good Times, they still were doing pretty punk rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one, I feel like I've talked about this actor like 19 times, but I adore Ayo Edebiri, and the movie Opus coming out this year.
Yeah, that's
looks
going to be good.
Stupid good. John Malkovich in like the most John Malkovich role, as he's like essentially leading a cult. Juliette Lewis also in this. It looks great, and with multiple Juliette Lewis films coming out, I'm ready for her to rise back up. Tony Hale also in Opus. The movie looks stupendously funny. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, she has an amazing personality. She is awesome, and John Malkovich is one of my favorite actors. We the other day we were talking about in the Discord Burn After Reading.
Yep.
And that movie, the chair from Burn After Reading is probably the hardest I've ever laughed watching a movie, because the debut, the reveal of George Clooney's chair in that movie is fucking hilarious. But John Malkovich is probably the most funny character in that movie. And I know a lot of people like being John Malkovich a lot, but I think that he's even more John Malkovich in Burn After Reading.
Yep.
Like if you want that, that's the fucking movie to go to.
Yep. Ronnie brought up Murray Bartlett's also in it. Also got a shout out. Tony Hale's also in it, and I have adored Tony Hale for so long. Like the early days of Arrested Development, I knew I was going to be just fascinated with him as a comedic actor for years. You shared two, so I'll share one more too.
Yeah, do one more.
Obvious choice here, but my second most anticipated movie of the year, 28 years later. Genuinely one of the greatest trailers ever made. It looks
the trailer
incredible.
Is sick. Yes. It's okay. Sorry to cut you off. And
no, you're good.
My friend Carl, who will probably listen to this eventually, him and I, he's like, whenever we make movies, him and I are going to be doing everything together. We already do pretty much anything.
Nice.
Anything video related, like we won't do it without each other just because we hate doing shit by ourselves. And we want to be filmmakers one day. And he loves the 28 days and 28 weeks later. And he was like, Gage, you have to watch this trailer. Because him and I both are not trailer people.
Same.
And we were talking about it's the best trailer because it's a teaser trailer.
But it's a long teaser trailer.
It's a long one. Yes, it's a long one, a very long one. But it doesn't give you anything. You know what I mean? It exists almost as it's a complete piece of art by itself.
I just Jeremy just sent me a video of them trying to choose the next Sundance thing, and I'm like laughing at it. Anyways, okay, so we got one left each. What is the last one on this list?
Okay, real quick though, I still have not seen 28 Days or 28 Weeks Later, so I can't. And now the Blu-ray, I'd have to sell all my collection to get the Blu-ray.
True.
Yeah.
I will say they are very different movies, and I think that's why I like them so much.
Yeah.
They completely different tones.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely want to see them. Yeah, my friend that I was talking about, he likes both of them, so I'm pretty sure
it's good stuff.
So I feel like our number one is probably going to be the same thing. Maybe, I don't know. But my number one will be, if it actually happens, it's supposed to be happening, is Paul Thomas Anderson's film.
Nope, not mine.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this recently, but Warner Brothers actually put out like a release schedule for the year. Did you see that?
Yes. I don't think it was ever confirmed, and some people were worried that it looked photoshopped.
Okay, so I've been seeing more and more stuff about this, but it's supposed to come out in the later half of this year, which I believe it will. Stan says it's not going to happen.
That's Stan.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I mean, we're sitting at what, 3 years ago? Licorice Pizza came out?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty. What we usually. What was his last film before that?
Phantom Thread, I think.
Phantom Thread, and that was 2017 or 18,
something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was a pretty long time between that. Phantom Thread I saw in theaters too. I like that a lot. And then Alto Nights does look good too.
Death of a Unicorn looks fun too.
Yes, that also does look incredible. But yeah, if the new PTA movie happens, that's going to be my number one most excited thing for this year for sure. Because he exists almost like he's one of the very few people we have left that's like an event filmmaker. You know, whenever his stuff comes out, everybody has to go see it.
That is true. My number one, I feel like genuinely has a chance to be one of those event filmmakers, and I think he's actually started to get himself there. That is Ryan Coogler's Sinners coming out this year. This is a movie that looks freaking incredible. On Letterboxd, it says, trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. And Michael B. Jordan looks incredible in this. Haley Steinfeld's in this. I cannot wait to see this. Seeing a Ryan Coogler, what is being billed as a horror film, is so freaking exciting. I cannot wait. He is so good at like emotionally grounding great stories that mean a lot to people. I feel like he could nail a horror movie.
Yeah, I've been seeing more and more of this on Letterboxd lately, of people like adding it to their watch list and stuff like that. I'm very excited for this too.
It's going to be a big one. Very, very stoked on it. Unfortunately, Jeremy is pushing me to wrap it up. Do you want to name our last 5 fairly quickly about physical media, and we can continue in the Discord? We can have this be a discussion topic for everybody.
Yeah. We can kind of go over it really quickly. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I will. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, you went first on the last one, so I'll go on this one.
Okay.
So my number 5. This is going to be so dumb, but I'm working on it. But Gatorbait. I'm so freaking excited for TerraVision to finally release Gatorbait. Seeing that in 4K, which I still haven't even seen what our restoration looks like. Cannot wait. Going to be an incredible release. My next one. 2024 was the year of titles that so many of us thought were impossible, and we got them.
I just read that. I didn't even hear what you said because I read that.
2024 was the year we got like a shit ton of titles that we thought were impossible to get. I can't wait to see that continue because I feel like that needs to be the continuing trend for physical media. Sure. There's a couple of Scorsese's that have never been released on Blu-ray. Still, let's get those. We absolutely need more of those titles that we've heard about for years that due to rights or due to it being the devil's for some reason has never been released, and we absolutely need them to. The number 3 one that I wrote down is more and more undiscovered cinema. And this one's exciting because like tonight we talked about Enter the Panther. Not many people have seen it. It was released years ago under the title Conspiracy, and now it's out there in HD because somebody went out there and they found a print in Spain, like that sort of thing. If you're going to be able to do that, that is freaking exciting. And we have world cinema that has never been shown before, that if somebody just takes the time to find something, it deserves to be out there. And now, like last week, we talked about this Southeast Asia label that's starting up in the UK. Yeah. We get hopefully more Indian cinema. That's incredible. I can't wait for more of those that people have like Deaf Crocodile. Every time they release something, everybody's like, I've never heard of this. And I was like, yes, that's the reason to get it. That is amazing.
Incubus. And people hate that Arrow puts out mainstream shit, and they're still putting out shit like Incubus.
It allows them to fund something like Incubus. It's important. Mm-hmm. My number 2, I feel like we are seeing more and more, and we talked about a couple of them tonight, definitive releases. And when I say this, I mean the top possible of visual quality, audio quality, a great slate of extras, and to make everybody happy, put it in a slipcover. I don't care. Whatever you need. I don't need any fancy packaging, but just that way I can feel like I never have to buy this film again, and I have the best of the best. Yes. I want more and more of those, and we're finally seeing some companies step up to the plate and do them. And I know I've talked about TerraVision a lot tonight, but it's because I'm producing some of those extras. Like last year, Nail Gun Massacre. There will never be another Nail Gun Massacre release that could ever top what we did last year. It's incredible.
I watched that on Halloween.
Nice. Yep. The last thing I wrote down, and I really hope some of these other companies can get this, to sell physical media in the world of 2025, people are really harping on a couple things. One is packaging, which is bullshit. I really wish we would go away from the whole, we need a slipcover or we'll never purchase it. Yeah. And not if you're into slipcovers, cool. Like if it's a movie I love, I kind of want the best package too.
Yeah, exactly.
But to focus on that is where we lose our minds, because we're talking about films. And my big thing, I want to see, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, a renewed focus on supplemental features. Whatever we can do to have somebody that has been an expert in this field be able to talk about a film, contextualize it in a way that makes me feel like the movie I just watched is important and why. Getting audio commentaries from directors that are literally about to die because we're rescuing films from the 70s and 80s and 60s right now for people that are still just barely holding on to life. Get them on the record. It's important.
100%. For sure. Yeah, I definitely wish somebody would do like the Criterion model, but I get why they can't. But like just someone that put out just like, this is it. There's no limited, there's no special, there's no, it's just this one edition, which I feel like could probably be done in some kind of way. But I mean, it's like them and Warner Archive is basically it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I get it. So I guess I'll move on to mine. I kind of want to piggyback off what you said with, with a sixth one real quick is that I would like to see, you said about specifically things being definitive editions of something.
Yeah.
It sucks that like we're having this issue, or not issue, I don't want to say that, but with like Seven Samurai, with Criterion and BFI. I wish there was a more standardized, definitive version of something, whether it be through the master and the encoding, the transfer, like I wish that there was a more standardized, like, no, this is the way that it should be done. And I wish everybody would get on the same page of what, like, like it's getting to the point now where fidelity in motion is touted by everybody that we're using. There can't be one other fidelity in motion. He's it, Dave McKenzie.
Well,
so you're supposed to have him on soon, right?
Yeah, it's recorded. He's got to approve the edit, but
I can't.
There's a reason. We explain why he is the only one.
I love it. No, but yeah, it's great. I just wish that people cared the way that he does. You know what I mean? He does such a good job at what he does. He's the man. So, and it is a selling point. If I see that it's authored by him, it'll make me buy it. So it just sucks that he's the only one that can do it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I cannot wait for that podcast to drop or video to drop. That's going to be awesome. So then my other 5 things that I'm very excited for are Vinegar Syndrome exclusives. So people have started getting in their video or their Vinegar Syndrome Media Club release of what is it called? Hot Summer Nights?
Oh, from the Melusine side, yeah.
From the Melusine site, and it actually does have a spine number on it, apparently, that says Vinegar Syndrome Movie Club -001.
MMC.
MMC. Okay, MMC. Yeah, so it's like, okay, so then this is definitely going to be something that they continue on. And it's going to be interesting.
Quite likely.
To see what happens through this, because I think the only other movie that's technically been exclusive to it was the Bridget LaHaye double feature, which was a re-release of the Bridget LaHaye disc, but it had an extra movie on it.
Yep.
So technically those are the only 2 true exclusive movies to that, but this will be the first spine.
Well, and Side Roads from the April Fool's Day last year.
Okay, so that's what I was getting at next, was not only that, but also what their April Fool's Day continues to be. I feel like they're not going to go backwards in this. I think they're going to do another exclusive movie. They're either going to do another exclusive movie or exclusive box set or something. I feel like from now on, they're only going to be able to move forward with this. I don't think they're going to go back to do it.
Oh, God. Well, what if they do a box set this year? What do you do next year?
I know. That's what I'm saying. They're just going to continue doing box sets. And then it seems like Side Roads, I don't want to speculate, but it seems like Side Roads maybe could have been a movie that they probably own, right? Maybe outright. And they feel like maybe didn't have an audience, and this was the way to get it out there. So maybe maybe in the future, this is a way for them to do that for things that could have potentially like not have been able to find an audience elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other way, and I'm not saying I know this, so please don't say that this is me giving a reason or whatever, but there are some times that there are some titles that can't be sold based on contracts, like you can own it for something, and this technically was not selling the film. It's like if you're donating to our archive, you get this bonus, and it's not you purchasing the film, and it's not advertised like that. So there could have been some sort of stipulation like that.
That's kind of I'm not gonna say it, but yes, I'll talk about that with you later. But yes. I'm very interested to see that. And I will also say the 2 other things with that. This is all kind of just all Vinegar Syndrome. I'm trying to be fast. I'm sorry. Was also their upgrades this year. Will they do more upgrades? Because they really haven't done many in the past where everybody else has. They did Mad Men and the Massage Parlor Murders, but those, I mean, that's 2 over the past 4 years. So it's like, what are they going to do more of those? And if they do, how do they approach them? Because it seems like they've been very standoffish about doing it, maybe to perhaps avoid people being upset. So it's like maybe they try to find a unique way of approaching it.
I mean, I feel like they'd have to do another sub label because if they made it where all subscribers got it, people are going to complain.
Exactly.
And then if you make it a sub label, then people get the option to upgrade.
like, I don't know if you remember this, but both Massage Parlor Murder and Mad Men, I believe, were both part of like the Valentine's Day sale weekend. So they weren't actually parts of the mainline releases that month.
Right.
So they would have to do it something kind of like that. Like maybe each like sale, instead of doing backlog slipcovers, they do, oh, we're going to do upgrades of other movies. I don't know. I wonder if that's how they do it. So
I'd love to see that, or like they did for Ronin Flicks, where they offer just to sell the 4K disc, not this new packaging. Just you can buy the disc to upgrade.
I didn't know Ronin Flicks did that.
Once for I Spit on Your Grave, and that's it.
Oh, you know, I saw that at a Target one time. The like fucking 4-disc 4K set or whatever.
That's weird.
Yeah, at a Target. I thought it was weird too, and it was on the clearance rack for $5.
God damn.
And I went to go check it out, and it was like $68. And I was like, "Hey, this on the clearance thing says $5." And they're like scanning it, and they're like, "No, this is $68." I was like, "Okay, I don't want it." I walked away, but damn, I was like, that was very close to getting a deal on that one. But the next thing I want to, then the last part of that is, I wonder if Vinegar Syndrome does subscription exclusives, which
they've done at least one every year, I think, for at least the last 2 or 3 years.
Have they?
The things that are like the Bio-Zombie slip box.
Okay, yeah, no, but I'm talking about titles.
I doubt that will happen.
Do you doubt that will happen? Because
I do doubt
this year is the first year that I've heard people be very upset about subscribing, and it seems like there's a lot more backlash this year about being subscribing than ever before. And it's like, I wonder if they try to entice people by doing, even if it's just one exclusive movie, to be a subscriber.
I don't know. Maybe.
I know. I could possibly see it. Okay, The rest of them, I promise. That was like the only multi-tiered one. The rest is Warner Brothers, Warner Archive 4K releases to see the exact output that they do this year. So
I think they're only doing like 2 or 3.
They said that's what they said, that they would only do a handful. So it's like, maybe do we get them quarterly, or do we get every 6 months or so? Like, how is it going to work? So it's going to be very interesting to see not only how they do it, but what movies they select. I would assume that it's all going to be super large former Warner Brothers. Like, I'm thinking probably more westerns, probably more stuff like that. Maybe King Kong, maybe stuff that they've already.
That's the hope. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. That's probably what we see. And then the next thing I have written down is Radiance's entrance into 4K.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting. Radiance, I've actually still not bought anything from them, but I've wanted almost everything that they've put out. I don't know how. I think what it is, I keep missing the limited editions, and it irks me a little bit because I want the booklet and stuff. Right. And so that makes it just kind of disappoints me to the point where I'm like, man, and then I just never actually buy anything. But
another label with a great subscription.
I got 2 of my friends to start buying from them, though, so I don't feel that bad.
Nice. You can borrow theirs.
Yes, exactly. And then the last 2, one I put Bollywood box set from Criterion, because they teased that somewhere. I can't remember what it was. Do you know Lee Klein, the technical director of Criterion? Yeah, you probably know his face if he's done a lot of stuff with him. Yeah, I believe it was on his Dead Pixel podcast that he did, where he talks about going to India to do like a thing with students over there, like talking about film preservation. Yeah, because he talks about how like most, if not all of India's like film history, like pre-1980 is pretty much like all lost. And he goes over there. Yeah, we do need a release of RRR. I got to see that in a theater with a brand new sound system cranked all the way up, and it was fucking amazing. But I know that at some point they teased that they were possibly doing a Bollywood box set of like films encompassing the entire history of Bollywood. So wow, and that was like probably like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. So like it would probably be a larger box set with probably like 10 movies in it or something like that. Yeah. It'd be interesting if they did some kind of like a documentary or like history of all of that. Would be very interesting.
it's almost time for another World Cinema project from them. Also, there's a couple signs looking like another one is releasing soon, and then
I hope so.
I know of at least one box set that they're working on right now that's going to be huge. But I think there's a couple more that they're working on that, like a lot of people have doubted that they're going to focus on these giant type of things again, because a couple of them have not had so great reviews, like the Varda set, and the Wong Kar-wai had like 5 replacement discs. But there are some things in the works that Criterion has. They've got a lot coming still.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I also attach to that, is like what else they have coming, because they never fail to.
Right.
Everything but out is amazing. Obviously, it's just they're all like they all get like 98.7 reviews. They're not you know what I mean. Just like it's like, oh, it just sucks that the BFI has a slightly better transfer than yours. Like fuck, like why can't you just nail it?
Why can't you just use Fidelity Emotion? Come on.
Oh my god, right? That is fuck. And then the last thing that I'll have on here, it's semi multi-layered, is that we need Hell's Angels, the 1930 Howard Hughes movie, on Blu-ray. How the fuck is it? I mean, the reason why
So specific at the end of that.
Yeah, is that they I would assume that because that movie was shot as a silent film. And then during the time they were shooting it, they're like, fuck, we got to make this a sound film now. And then knowing Howard Hughes's film history, because he like bought RKO many years later, that film's preprint elements are probably not in the best shape. And there's probably a lot of work that needs to be done on that movie. And it's a longer movie. I believe it's over 2 hours long. So I know it has a DVD from Universal. I would like to see it released, and the part that's multi-layered with this is I would like to see a definitive edition of The Aviator to come out, because I've never seen The Aviator, and the Blu-ray is kind of hard to get now. Not that it's hard to get. You can probably get it on Amazon, but like I feel like it's just like I never see it that frequently anymore, and I'm just like every time I see it in a store or something, like I've seen it at Second Charles. And it's like just always so dirty and fucked up and old. Yeah. I'm just like, man, this is gonna get a new version eventually. So I would like, even if it's just they have to attach Hell's Angels to like a box set with The Aviator, would be really cool. But I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know what it's gonna take to get these out. But I would really like to see both of those.
Well, if you're in the Discord, let's keep this conversation going. What do you want to see from boutiques in 2025? Obviously, we'd love to hear that. Go to the Film Discussion channel and let's talk there. Lots that you could speculate on. Lots of great labels that we've only gotten a couple releases. Like Chameleon is about to release their like 5th spine or 6th spine, and they've been around for a couple years. I'm stoked for more coming from them. To wrap this up quickly, thank you all for support earlier and understanding. If you want to ask a question, like I said, DM me anywhere. I'm always here to answer. Gage, you're amazing. Thanks for always doing this.
No, you're amazing, brother. You're the man. Anytime you need somebody on, brother.
Always. We will see y'all next Thursday with a different guest. I'll let Will know that you miss him, and we'll see you then.
Yes, sir. I'll be in the Discord. See you guys in there.
Incredible. See ya. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Dev Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions Podcast Network, please select the link in the description